Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the season finale of Masks and Muses, our Dragon Age game. Here, Vivi looks like she's having a moment. Here on Restless Barbarian Gaming, I'm your game master, Aloysius, here with all of my lovely players for one last game this season. Hopefully, we ended off on a bang. I guess I will have everyone introduce themselves in a clockwise motion, starting with Diver.
I'm Diver. I'm here to provide chaos and entertainment with my cult leader, Aiden Kincaid, hailing from the city of Kirkwall, the most notorious, infamous city in all of Thedas. He has made some waves here in Orlais, in Val Royeaux. He has upset the scholarly order at UFO,
Yeah.
and has raised and managed to gather together an ever increasing number of followers into his little secret society, organization, cult, whatever you like to call it. And tonight, those members are going to help him to make a fucking scene. So, ready to go. Gonna pass it down to his companion in all things notorious.
What a moniker.
Hi, I'm the notorious VIB, aka Vivi. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little frazzled. I just finished the grocery run and we were packing everything up and I was getting ready to prep my cold cut meats and all the meat that needed to go in the freezer, and I realized it was late, so I had to leave meat prep to later. But you know who isn't leaving meat prep to later? Aosia, because she's about to start a riot, or a campus protest.
Yeah, however it evolves/devolves.
However it goes. So this girl is just my miraculous mage. Love her so much. She is also an agent of chaos, but mostly because it's her world and people are living in it. So yeah, and hopefully
Love that for her.
be happily ever after with her Templar boyfriend, who won't be a Templar for long. Who knows? This is the plan. We are
aiming to get him fired.
No, I'm aiming to make him quit.
That's me. Hello, I'm T. I'm here to have a good time. And hopefully you are too. I play Ade of House Montpellier, ducal house in Orlais and Val Royeaux specifically. And if you have been watching at this point, you know she's an apostate, but we don't talk about that. That's fine.
Yeah,
it's not important.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. Don't you tell anybody.
Especially in front of certain parties.
Most people. 98% of them. But yeah, looking forward to the riot. I do also love that it is kind of implied somehow that Aosia is ready to prep cold cut meats during the riot, which are we killing people? What's happening? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
I feel like those would be hot cut meats.
Well, if you chill them.
Or warm at the very least.
That's what a refrigerator's for. Or ice magic. I don't know.
What a cone of cold is for.
Alrighty, hey, my name's Tom. I'm playing Buccio Viari, first of his name, and grand, I guess, dad of the party, and looking forward to starting a riot. Oh, excuse me, a disruption. So.
Yes, a campus-wide disruption. Okay, well, when last we left off, the party went to a large gathering of the singing of the Canticle of Light, and was looking for potential information on who put the contract out on Aiden's head, and also why, which eventually led them to a lead towards his professor, who is not his biggest fan in the world, and knows that yes, whether he is directly involved or what remains to be seen, but it has been made clear that he is involved in some capacity.
He's complicit.
Yes, he's complicit based off of the masked bards that were watching his and Aosia's conversation. And after that, I believe everyone reconvened at House Montbelliard to scheme about starting a riot at the university so they can sneak into his office to look for clues.
Yeah, we're gonna go full Aiden's 11 on this university, and we're gonna break in and it's gonna be a whole thing.
I want to be Brad Pitt and be always eating. So.
Well, and that is where we pick up. So, how are we starting this riot, or disruption, or protest, or however you want to go about it?
I believe it's a cult.
I'm sorry?
Like, you're gonna have like your cult rally, and like you guys are gonna like do like a public speaking thing, right?
Oh yeah. We're gonna protest the infringement on academic freedom here at U of O, and that cannot stand. And you know, so there are going to be placards and signs and posters and costumes and maybe a few torches and probably a mage or two. It's I mean, just for fireworks and things. So yeah, one is all we need. Okay,
wow, yeah, fireworks.
One. Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to add a little special effects, right? So special effects, smoke, and fire, and lots more of that. And so what Aiden is doing is, and I would say this normally starts at dawn, but that's way too early for him. And so he is going to have his other subordinate members, his loyal followers, his devotees, to basically gather and organize the cult as it's colloquially referred to. Yes, Ade.
I'm sorry, my cat is being way clingy right now.
Yeah, I see that. It's a beautiful cat right there.
Oh my God, he's such a baby. I thought, were we not doing this the same night, with hopes that it would give us time to, because we know that this, was it Lord Couchet?
Yeah, Lord Couchet.
And he was still there, we think.
Yes.
And we're
worried
about
night protest.
Getting rid of information
Mace first, and then the office of the teacher.
If this is a night protest, I've got to go ahead and get everybody together right away. So I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but like or we can do it the following night.
I think
what are they, night jobs or something?
Well, because I think that I was thinking along the lines of, the sooner, if you don't stop eating my wire, you're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, Aiden, stop eating the wire.
Yeah, Aiden.
The thing, right, is that we saw that there were potentially people affiliated with the House of Repose. Hi, Luca. At the party, or at the church thing. I don't know if they call it a party, whatever.
The gathering.
The gathering. Sir, stop it. No, let go. Oh my god. Anyways, and so because remind me if I was wrong. Dude. Remind me if I was wrong, Aloysius, but didn't Lord Couché also see them? Or am I crazy?
It was a bit unclear as to whether it's a bit unknown if he was aware of their presence or not, because all Frederick was able to relay was that he saw the two of them watching the conversation.
Very closely.
Yes, he didn't know if it was reciprocal, like anybody in the conversation was aware of their presence as well.
Okay. I guess my thing is then, do we think that because people clocked that we were asking, that we were doing something, and they became interested in that something that we were doing, that this could lead to information being destroyed? I don't know how fast the House of Repose works. I guess I'm just being paranoid, maybe.
I'm just confused. Are we going to Couché's or to the professors?
Well, Couché is the professor, but
I thought he was a lord.
Well, he is a lord, but he also teaches at the university.
Oh.
He's a minor lord.
Oh.
And I think we found out that there are a few minor lords.
It's a passion.
We're going to go to his office at the school and
yes,
to distract people. That when we go to the office, the coast is clear.
Yes, that was that was the plan that was being discussed.
I see. Sorry, I'm not doing his accent right now because I'm not talking as
Yeah. Understandable.
Is it impossible for us to do it the same night?
I don't think it would be impossible. I think it would be depending on how elaborate you want this plan to be. I think
my people are around, but they're scattered, and it might be difficult to wrangle them all up at once.
So are we looking at? We're just trying to distract a bunch of guards or something like that, so we can get.
Basically, feel free to correct me, but as far as I was aware, the plan was sort of get a sort of protest of sorts going. In order to keep any potential security, guards, anything like that.
That was my impression.
Sort of distracted on that, so that way it would leave you guys free to get to the office and search around with little to no intrusion or.
And I think that the other thought was that we were hoping that with the protest, and maybe this is why I was thinking we were doing it the same night, is that with the protest and with everything that's happened and the fact that it's not widely known that Aiden is still out and about in the world, that this would make whoever is has something to hide kind of make a move, so that we can maybe get a lead on who is in charge, who they're answering to. We need to get somebody.
We sniff them out.
I had Buccio speaks up. I had an idea. Why don't we have signs painted up that say "Free Aiden" and "Aiden lives" and things like that, so that his cult can march around and start and say, and he'll look over at Aiden. So, do you want them to know you're alive, or you don't want them to know you're alive?
I would rather
make him he's more than a man. He is now a symbol. So
right.
We hold the protest, and in the middle we have Aiden kind of pop up and be like, my compatriots, my cult.
I'm Aiden. No, I'm Aiden.
My cult.
I must.
They all dress up like him. Everybody's Aiden.
They all make up masks,
but it's
they
Aiden.
Look like his face.
Yes, exactly.
And with Aiden, you tell them what you told Reese, and me, like, you know, when you were in the Fade and you're like, oh my god, like they beat me half to death, like they were about to take my toenails before I was rescued.
I've been destined to play this part. Yeah. Yeah, you give me a podium, you give me a microphone, and I am ready to go. Like I was born for this.
Yes. I will also say, if you want to, sort of, you know, not just appeal to your cult members, if you also want to appeal to your wider student body, Ade did recall information about Lord Cochet that she remembered last session, that Lord Cochet and sort of like his peers were aiming to try and make the sort of like student selection process a bit more exclusionary.
Right.
Yeah. Which you would know since you're attending the university.
Protesting the exclusionary student policies,
Yes. Which
explain you being kidnapped because you found out about this, and so like they had to silence you, and kind of like in part free Aiden, but mostly like protest against this thing. Like you show up to lead it and be like, I have been missing because, like, you know, I found out that Mr. Pushy Whoopin or whatever, you know, he wants to be part of this board. Him and his peers, they want to, like, you know, exclude their students. Rise up, my international students. Like, come here.
This is about academic freedom and equality and opportunity, and it's not about me at all, honestly. Except I'm simply standing up for every single person in this world who deserves an education, deserves to learn, and also against.
I'm just a not quite dead martyr.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. I've managed to escape and evade the punishing,
because you can try and silence the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I silenced Aiden, but you'll never silence the truth.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. The truth yearns to be free, and you can't silence it. And I live. Yes.
Aiden is simply a vehicle through which the truth is moving.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. And so you have a feeling that if you sort of like work that into the narrative, you'd probably have a better time selling it to people.
I want this to be a wider movement, and that's why I'm thinking we're going to
because you know that the university, because you know that the university prides itself on being progressive.
Oh yeah,
so, So
of course they do.
You know, doors are open to scholars and intellectuals of all kinds from anywhere.
So this would definitely get people fired up. If you brought this to light.
This is about everyone. This is about everyone.
Is there like a... How do they... Like, big news, how does that get out in Valoreo? Is there like a place that drafts a letter? A ye old newspaper.
You mean
Town Crier?
Town Criers, yeah. Well, I'm sending those people out.
Would it be Town Criers?
That'd probably be the... if you're like trying to get information out as quickly as possible, it'd probably be best to like either find a town crier or a chantry brother or sister to start proselytizing the information.
So I don't think it's going to happen in the same day. It's
no.
I think we need at least
definitely
24
not.
hours.
But I also feel like it might. It I don't know if I'm using this word right. Behoove us to. It might behoove us to find documentation alluding to this ahead of time.
You know, I like it, but I don't know if they even know that anything is happening here, because they don't even know he's alive. I don't think. Unless they're communicating with each other. But we killed their people, right?
Right. I think I just mean more so in terms of having proof that this is
that's
happening.
Not necessary.
I mean, that's true.
We don't need evidence.
You know, maybe that's what Marjolaine is kind of doing. Like maybe she's handling.
Killing people.
Yeah, but maybe she finds like a bloody document and she's like, "Oh, like this is so convenient." It's just that like I understand what you're saying, Ade, and I think it's a really brilliant point because like yeah, like they might think something's kind of up and fishy now because I was like sniffing around, the box they didn't want me to sniff. But I do think also that like the whole plan is set up so that we can like get in there as easy as possible. If we go tonight, then why would we start the protest tomorrow? Like, unless we were doing something else that involved sneak into the office again. So, like, we need the whole thing, like the whole shebang, the whole parade.
It has to happen together. No, I guess I'm just thinking in terms of.
Maybe we tell the town.
I don't know anything about you.
So that, like, when they wake up, they scream about it in the morning.
Right. I don't know anything about U of O, and of course, Aiden, I'll defer to you here. You go there. You are a student currently enrolled, though you have not been in class for quite some time, according to your professor.
Who doesn't like me, and clearly,
have you been there?
Prejudice against me. I mean, I feel like I've attended enough, and also I've been involved in my own personal research. So,
how many months have passed since the start of the school year?
That is a good.
I'm involved in independent study. Like I have personal research projects for my dissertation and thesis. So
I know what I enrolled in for here, but fuck that. I have personal projects to work on.
That's right. I'm doing scholarship, and they can't hold that against me, especially at the university. So. Yeah.
Just because I'm not interested in their boring stuff that they're talking about.
Right, exactly. I've got better things to do, I've got more important research, You can't hold me back, right?
I mean, we will have to probably hit the streets pretty early here, though, if we want the town criers or any chanters, whatever they call themselves, to help spread this information. Is everyone
maybe
good?
We write notes, like we put the information on notes, and we're kind of like, oh my god, like Professor Couchet, and like we kind of like put it on their doorsteps while they sleep, and then like they wake up and they see the note, and they're like, oh.
Well, right, exactly. All the interesting activity happens on campus at night. And so, like, posters are going up and being slipped under doors and things like that, like little notices and writings. And, like, my cult is good at disseminating, like, the type of notices.
Just calling it a cult now.
Yeah. They're good at, like, getting information around. I mean, you should see how fast this stuff spreads. I mean, even word of mouth is pretty, like rumors are just wildfire in there. And so like, yeah, this is far more interesting than anybody's fucking homework. So, this is
fair.
Don't worry, everybody will know by morning, and they'll be properly caffeinated. My people don't sleep. So, yeah.
What time?
Like any good cult leader,
right,
I keep my followers sleep deprived.
That's right.
Do we think that it... Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Aosia?
Like you were saying, good time for a protest. What should time be for the protest? Because
I'm wondering if like just before sundown, if maybe you don't start on a road a little ways away from the university, and because sometimes people will just join in.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a whole town thing. We were going march.
So maybe starting just before sundown, and then by the time you get there, you've got science, you've got a large group.
Ade, you weren't with us the last time we trashed the entire city. Like, I did this already. Like, we're just going to do it again. This is just going to be, parade part 2, only this time there will probably be less drinking and more signage, and speaking. But, I mean, this, we already wrecked the town one time. So this is just this is opening night. That was rehearsal. So
at sundown, the protest starts. I think it should be centralized to campus or something, though. Like, to start.
Oh yeah. We're coalescing.
We have to start the plan of how we're gonna get the security to focus on the protest first, rather, or maybe you guys start marching through the streets and then end up at the school.
Yeah,
you're
that's exactly it.
And then
Nugs. That's the plan.
So sundown, and then the group that is designated to go to the room is Yukio and Ade, and I am tasked with Aiden security and also keeping an eye out for who might be about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Frederick's going to help, right?
I don't think he took his day off. I think today to hang out with us. I think the chant is.
They get those.
No, I mean
more like he was just working somewhere else, essentially.
He just went on guard duty that got a change of scenery, and they're like, "There's your break. You don't have to be surrounded by mages anymore." But he does his thing. He does his Templar drugs. He goes to work. He sees me. He has a heart attack. And yeah, but I don't know, because this one might get a little bit more messy. And then if I do something bad, he as a Templar, especially outside of the spire, might be kind of compelled by civic duty.
I see what you're saying.
Put me down with the dog. Hurt the rest. And I would much rather romance him out of being a Templar than fight it at his blade. So I still have to kind of get in his head, I have to kind of start to manipulate him out of it. And
seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, part of me is kind of ugh.
It feels like it would be better if he already was just not a Templar, or made that decision on his own immediately.
Yeah, but I have to put it in his head, kind of like how Manon put the thing in my head, and I was like, holy shit, my worldview has changed. That's what's gonna happen with him. Maybe we should have a talk with Manon or something.
I do this all the time with people. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, but Aiden, he doesn't like you.
No. I know. I mean, I haven't had a chance to really get along with him like you have, and
I don't know. I think we did sleep together, or that we just had a really great sleepover. I'm not quite sure what he got out of that night. So, but I think it's better if it's my soft touch, as a Force mage, really gentle,
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
my soft touch as a Force mage.
Yes.
Something like that, just kind of I really kind of nudge him. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. Imagine if you weren't a Templar, but imagine if, we had strawberries on this picnic, and he's like, it's not a picnic, I'm guarding the stairwell. And I'm like, all right.
Sure. Okay.
But anyway, so he's probably not going to go. And this is safety.
It's probably not his thing.
There's one more very important thing to maybe discuss, which is, and this is not saying that it will, but having a plan in place, very good. If things go badly, what contingency ideas do we have for that?
I can pretend to be possessed by a demon.
You'll die.
Or I'll be like, holy shit, it got me 20%.
Nope, they'll probably still kill you.
I could be
because you'll be around people and they'll be like, oh, this is a perfect chance to put down a mage who's probably 20% possessed by a demon. They won't make a discernment for that. That seems very fatally bad.
And then I might get my leaving the house license revoked.
Right. True.
Well, since there's two parts to this plan, and there's two parties here, the party outside creating the scene, and then the party inside getting the contraband and everything. The party outside, I think AOC's fine if she just maybe incapacitates a few rioters who are out of hand. That way she can be looking like she's trying to restore order, putting her magical powers to good use. If that happens, and if you happen to paralyze or otherwise incapacitate or perhaps even put into a state of like a coma or something like that, a few of the people gathered, I'm sure it'll be fine. People will understand you're just trying to help. But as far as the people inside Ade and Bukio, yeah, it's for you to figure out how you get in and out. I mean, I can give you an entire blueprint of the place and all the secret passages.
Won't you be potentially?
Yeah, I thought that was the idea. Was you're helping us break into it. I think the cult is ranting and raving about you. I don't think you need to be there.
I feel like
because as soon as the guards see you, they're going to arrest you, and that puts down the riot real fast.
Oh.
But won't we need Aiden to like lure out the House of Repose? Kind of like, like he is out and about and just like.
Right. I thought I was kind of supposed to be.
I think maybe start a rumor that Aiden may show.
Yeah.
And not have Aiden show up right at the beginning, so that the riot can work itself into a fervor.
A delayed entrance. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Fashionably late. Yes.
That way you
and perhaps you show up then when we're all done to help calm everything down.
Or get everything even to the next level.
Just hype it up even more.
Yeah, don't take this from me, all right? I need this.
Is there a... Okay, I'm going to be
well, then honest. I can take you there. I know exactly. I know 3 ways into that office, like, besides the front door.
Is there... Where's the near... There's a port, isn't there, in Valrio?
There is a port, yes.
Okay, how often do ships leave the port? Like, what's the last ship to leave the port for the day? Around what time?
Around what time?
Yeah, just in case. Just in case.
Listen, I think honestly, it only matters how much money you're willing to pay. I mean, as far as when the ship is going to leave.
I would say the last one leaving, probably maybe like just before sundown. Ballparking.
Well, what about with a little bribe? Could they leave an hour?
With a little bribe, I'm sure. You could delay it by.
Those Ravani ship captains, they'll just leave whenever.
Yeah, those Ravani ship captains.
Yeah,
lying by the seat of their own pants.
I know those damn pirates. They are. Yeah, they'll leave whenever. Totally. As long as you have coin, they have ship. Yeah.
Get off, pretty little bands. Sorry, my cat.
I heard him.
Yeah, he's so loud. Is there... how far away is the port from the University of Orlais?
The port from the... that's a good question. The port is...
Like if we were just strolling, like if we're just casual walk that direction.
Yeah, okay, well, let's see. The port is right... it's basically connected to the Summer Bazaar, essentially. So if you were just casually walking from there to the University of Orlais, maybe like... casual stroll, maybe like 30, 40 minutes, something like that. Okay.
So then if we were if we were moving fast, cut that in half. So it's like
I would say cut it by in half, like at least a third off the time, give or take, if you're just sprinting with reckless abandon, essentially.
Are there any...
Aosia can't leave.
I mean, if shit goes south, it's kind of like do or die, right?
Frederick will have to hunt her down.
But also, you did say Aosia could take part of calming the masses.
Right. So my
I
point
think
is
this
like,
should
are
be
you
pretty
leaving by
safe.
yourself here? Are you just amscraying from like house
This is about the
yard?
people who are inside. Though. If
Oh,
we're
okay.
caught
All
inside,
right.
I don't think there's any way to play off looking through these documents.
I think we just
You
need to
dress as a student.
memory. Wait a minute. Aosia can rewrite memories, so we can just like knock
But
them out
you
and then
won't.
rewrite their memories.
Isn't it only for a little bit of time? Can you, for whatever point, you're going to be outside?
Let me check my Rolodex of great magic.
Let me check my spells.
Let me pull out my memoir.
I can recall with my spell called Memory. I can touch a person and cause them to either forget or recall a specific memory. I can remove a memory within a number of hours of the event in question equal to my magic. And my magic at the moment is a 15. So we have 15 hours that I can remove possibly.
Beautiful.
Okay. That is very helpful.
If it's a small number,
Are we
it's
positive
great.
that if somebody comes across us, that we will be able to get a hold of them?
Oh yeah.
Get them to you without being caught by more people.
Bukio can catch anybody. I've seen him move really fast.
Mucho is shorter than a lot of teenagers.
Oh yeah, but you should see him move. Like I've seen him move. Like when he has to, he could drop that cane and just take right off.
He's got a really good sprint.
Yes, exactly. And if he fails, believe me, I'm really good with like knives and things. You wouldn't know it, but blades, my thing. And he opens up his coat and has like a dozen daggers.
Well, then why didn't you for yourself?
Huh?
They took his coat of many things.
Well, yeah. It's
Oh,
a
you
coat
didn't
of
have
many
your coat?
things. Yeah. Yeah, this is my special leather duster. I have everything in
I
here.
thought rogue types were supposed to keep knives like in their pants too,
I mean, like, it's the House of Repose.
strapped to their thighs.
I'm not your ordinary rogue. That's not really.
keistered.
If I recall correctly, you did walk into the Chateau Allery with like 6 different knives under your
Right,
duster,
exactly.
so-
Yeah. They'll never know. I'm good. Yeah, I've got pockets galore. Yeah.
All right.
We're good. Yeah,
So
we
I
can do
should
this.
not bribe the last ship leaving the port for tomorrow night, on the off chance that things go very badly.
I mean, you roll how you like, but like I think your people will be looking for you too. Then, right? I mean, you're kind of part of
They
an
will.
important
They
house,
will. But
right?
she just goes.
Yeah.
Just like, the scandal of our family.
Deal.
She's just
Yeah.
gone. What happened?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Then if anyone ever finds out, they can be like, "Oh, we were tricked too."
Yeah.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, I think I would be much less of a headache to them somewhere else, anyways.
That's so sad.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think you're selling yourself short.
My uncle won't even tell me that he loves me. She does not say that, but she does think it. Okay.
maybe
We're good.
I can try and organize. If you're so dedicated to leaving on the ship, if things go really badly, I can try and see if I can try and pull somebody who can go with you. I don't know if that's even possible, but
I don't necessarily need anyone to go with me. If
no,
things
like,
go
I
bad.
mean not from our posse, but like Ade, like I love you, but like your magic is like softer touch a little bit, and you are an AP, so like it's really not good to be like
Advanced placement?
no. Assassin.
I didn't know that there was an abbreviated term for it.
Yeah, no, we call them apps. And
That's what we call them at the tower.
yeah, they're apps. Apps get got by the office. So, yeah. So I'll see what I can do. I can't guarantee. I mean, I haven't even been able to contact them, but you know, it might be good for you to have somebody who might be more experienced that can go with you. I don't know the apostate, but I know of him.
I can assign one of my people.
Well,
to
my
accompany
thing
you.
is that I'm planning for no one to find out my identity one way or another.
She doesn't
Oh.
have to know who you are. She's very loyal.
We'll just be like, there's somebody who has to get out of the city potentially tomorrow,
Okay.
Yeah.
and
You
tomorrow
two
night-
hold on to that thought.
yeah,
Sleep on it. When everyone is gone for the day,
Uh-huh.
everyone is gone
For the
Yeah.
evening.
for the evening or whatever. She's just gonna make. She's gonna rent. She's gonna rent a room tomorrow morning at a tavern that's kind of like a halfway point between the university to the port, and she is going to leave some clothing there to change into, like
A go bag.
cloak, I mean, fuck a mask, right? Or should be like trying to be somebody else. She's
Mhm.
also going to prepare clothing that she's gonna prepare like she's gonna look like one of the students essentially. She's like,
Okay.
I'm gonna dress like Aiden. I don't fucking know.
oh my god, you should make yourself look like a recently pregnant student. So like that's kind of like where you're on the run. Like it creates this whole story of like I have to go because like
That would be so impossible and hard for her. She would need
no,
I
all
don't
you
know if I ever explained this, but like
a little pillow on the belly. You know,
she's very willowy.
that's why it's so prominent. That's why you gotta go.
I just feel like it'll look really awkward and weird
Look, it's just a suggestion. You know, I always think
and
you know
lumpy.
sometimes you say something so outlandish that like people don't even want to ask about it because then like they're kind of like, oh, I'm so stunned. But you know, if you want to go there's a cover of night, do your whole roguelike, go ahead.
This is gonna be like, I was having an affair with a lord
Mm-hmm.
as a servant of another house. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I feel like
so
there
good.
you go.
I'm now pregnant with this child. This is very bad for me. I'm a walking
She's
scandal.
not gonna say she's pregnant.
But like you'll be
She'll
like,
be like, ew, I don't even want to think about it.
you
I'm
could
just, I'm
insinuate-
just in a relation. I'm in a secret relationship with a powerful lord. I can't tell you who he is. I need to leave.
I'm gonna be like, I got found out. I gotta get the fuck out of here. The
Mhm.
wife knows.
you insinuate it and they look and they fill in the dots themselves. So then like you're not actually telling them. It's like, oh, I'm Breger, but it's rather that like
And in fact, she must know. She must have heard of some possible rumor mongering gossip about, because the nobles just have
well, it is all the
dirty
time.
laundry lists so long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure it's happened. Like multiple
Actually,
times.
I'm so sorry. Hello, Buccio. How is your How you? We were saying, do you want to run away on a ship with Ade? Not with anyone else.
Sure. I don't have any roots
Ade's
here.
of the mind that if shit goes really, really bad, she's leaving. She's getting the fuck out of Dodge
I agree.
until things cool down.
Gucci is like, I've been everywhere. I've been on the run all my life. It's just fine.
Yeah. He's got no roots. So.
So okay,
I'm a traveler.
she'll touch base with you since you'll be staying there for the evening anyways. But yeah, but with the rest of the whole plan, she's totally on board.
Oh my god, Jeffrey.
No one is pregnant.
No
yet.
one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going
Yet.
on in Fredosia world.
Not yet, but it's going around.
I'm
If
about
that's not what you want, you
water.
better be careful.
Now that would be scandalous.
that would be crazy. Hold on for
Here,
plot.
last night, you better get in there like swimwear.
Oh my. Anyway.
Breggers.
This
Anyway.
is exactly what our audience has showed up for. Like we're
Yeah.
getting them.
Yes.
They're like, okay, planning. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
We're taking a turn.
They're like, are we riot planning or are we family planning? What's going on?
Little of
8
column A,
episodes in,
little
there's been
column
combat
B.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's been one session of combat.
Team Bay, here's the plan. We know what we're doing at the university, right?
Yes.
And know who's going to the room, right?
The three of us, led by
There's-
Aiden.
The three of you are going. I will hide amongst the crowd, kind of keep an eye out. Right? I will be the eye in the sky. You guys get the document. You get out. Aiden does his late entrance. Whether or not
I'm alive!
Right? That's kind of like maybe what Aiden will decide. If shit is really bad, Ade and Buki are running off on the ship.
Right. And Ade's pregnant.
Yes.
I don't know that she's gonna continue with the. I mean, she brought up the ship, but she's just
But it's not Bucio's.
idea.
But it's not Bukio's. It's not Bukio's thing.
We're just friends.
Sorry, I just figured.
I'm just friends. I'm just a donor. No. But
Oh, good lord.
but the whole thing
Sweet maker, I should say.
sweet make. But yeah, so that's our plan so far, right?
Yes.
And we know what we're looking for, right? We're
We do.
looking for documentation addressed to other potential nobility, or really anyone that seems a little bit sketchy. Just trying to get a lead on who the fuck. Sorry, she doesn't say who the fuck. That was me. That was Tiara.
That was me paraphrasing for her.
That was me. Trying to get a lead on who ordered for Aiden to be kidnapped.
And you should also get papers relating to the thing that they're protesting, because if Aiden comes in late and is like, look, I have evidence.
Perfect.
That's what I
wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to wrap it all together. Yes, perfect.
Yes, exactly that thing you said.
Eosi is
Yeah.
a genius, you know.
Thank you. I score high when I hand in my homework.
Yeah.
I don't often hand.
All right, Team Bay.
Okay.
Team Day. One,
One,
two, three,
Two,
Day.
three. All right.
Although
I know
Aiden-
I'm not representing anybody here, but I'll do it also.
Yeah, you too, GM. The
Oh my
voices-
gosh, the GM's on our side. We got
Yeah.
this. As you're like, and then a dragon attacks
and
the
then
university.
several
Yeah,
dragons
dragon
attack
appears,
the,
yeah.
attack the city.
They
No, that
like
happened.
Skyrim, and they're just using an instant spawn cheat. So many dragons blot out the sun in the sky.
No, that happened years ago. What are the chances it'll happen again?
Right. Exactly. She's only called the dragon.
We love a throwback.
We love a throwback to the time dragons attacked Valroyo.
So we put a dragon Minecraft monster spawner cube in the university, and now the Ender Dragon is here, and we're having a crossover. Everything's shit. We don't know how to beat it.
Yeah, the university is just attacked by several Ferelden frostbacks. No
Yes.
big deal.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Happens every day.
so Aiden,
Yes.
make me a communications roll
I would
with
love
with a +1.
Excellent. I
To
live for
see
this.
how convincing you are as you slowly gather people in protest marching towards the university.
Okay. So
Yeah?
is there like a reroll option in this game? Because that was not his best roll.
I
Like a
will.
push option or something where I can double down.
I was gonna.
Also, do we get to try and spread this rumor as well?
Yeah.
Or teamwork.
Sure.
Makes
I
the
mean,
dream work.
because Valroyo is still kind of big, right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for us to kind of split up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this was more for like him gathering people as he was going, but yeah, you can roll to like spread the rumor ahead of time if you so choose.
So given that he's actually working through his cult because he can't come out himself yet, so I imagine why this score is just a little bit lower than his average. It's 12 total. It's 12
Okay.
total, but it's
Okay.
he's working through his people. So the message is a little bit like it's not quite, it's hit and miss a little bit, like
game of telephone.
Wait, but the GM was saying, but they might have given you a reroll.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I will allow you to roll again at a cost.
Oh, fantastic! I love doing things at a cost.
It's gonna cost you 5 toenails.
Not his last.
Hasn't told you what that cost is. I would ask first.
Oh, I'm ready to
get
say,
that
I'm
reroll.
ready to hit the buzzer right now and say yes.
All right.
Okay, I wasn't gonna disclose what the cost was anyway.
Yeah.
Always ask if he will, though.
Let's do this. Let's do
You
this.
gotta
We're going
give
at
up
a cost.
your 2 desired demon partner.
At a cost, all right. That roll is higher. That is 14.
Okay.
You spontaneously have a stroke.
You're debilitated the rest of the session.
Yikes.
So your followers are marching through the streets, being led by your favorite chosen, Valeria.
Valeria, yes, exactly,
she is heading the march through the streets, shouting about the injustices that have been done to you and everything that the staff is planning on doing at the university, however much of that is actually true or not.
Right.
But you said it, so she believes it.
That's right.
So she's just shouting it to the masses, and slowly, more and more people begin sort of trickling in. Most of them being more commoners.
That's
unsurprising.
fair. Yeah.
Unsurprisingly,
groundswell. This is a ground-based movement. Yeah.
Yes, and you even notice a handful of elves here and there, sort of joining the procession towards the university.
All the oppressed peoples. I'm here for it. Yeah.
Until eventually, once they reach sort of the gateways to the university, it's a good somewhere between 200 and 300 people.
Holy shit!
Amazing. Chanting, shouting, speeches. Yeah.
Yes. And also as the crowd is sort of as the crowd has been gathering towards the university, there was sort of a heads up. So there are many knights and chevaliers sort of now stationed outside the university, ready to step in should things start becoming too much of a ruckus.
And we anticipated this, and Valeria already knows to speak against them as well, as they're just serving the powers that be, the rich, the oppressors, just like so yeah, that's who they're working for, and so the crowd is going to be fired up, and it's going to be tense, it's going to be tense between the chevaliers and the common people. So yeah, class warfare.
Yes, there are certainly some choice words and shouting being levied at the soldiers and chevaliers.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Even some fruit occasionally. Yeah.
I'm thinking that we're kind of closer a little bit to sundown. We're kind of waiting to sneak in unnoticed to the school, right? And then as we start seeing and hearing some movement, there's a fucking riot of 200.
Did you fucking doubt me? That's right. Yeah.
No. I mean, no. She didn't doubt you. The university and stuff. As we start to see movement being generated and stuff, and workforce being moved to address this, that's probably when we know that's our end to start trying to sneak in and get to where we're going.
Oh yeah, the shitstorm has arrived and we are ready to go.
Yeah.
And we are its heralds.
I don't know.
And it is gonna splatter everywhere.
That's right.
Do we got some Gatlock? Anyways.
Got some Gatlock. I've been negotiating
a symbol of oppression.
I've been negotiating with some Kunari. I think they managed to get me some.
Gatlock.
Anyway, so in this small sea of people, you're going to attempt to get your way onto school grounds proper.
Oh, in fact, we're not actually going to be near that because that's doing what it's meant to do. Aiden is going to obviously escort his companions through a back door of sorts, a secret passageway, aided again by his people on the inside, because all his people are not committed to the shitstorm outside. He's got a few on the inside to help as well. So he no doubt has people who are like, yeah, in through the back way. Come on, let's go. And so yeah, I would imagine he's got
entrance or something.
Oh, fuck yeah! Like it's just like I mean, this is a person who is regularly, on a regular basis, secreted like forbidden materials out of the library and things like that. Like he knows,
and we don't want
the
people
ways.
to have seen. We don't want anyone to have seen us split off from this group.
This
group has to be a separate.
That's
force
right. They need to be a separate force, and they are drawing all the attention of all the security around. So yeah, this is,
and they are certainly succeeding as far as you are aware.
Yes. So that demonstration is happening, and we're like going in the back way, exactly the way it's meant to be. So
it's probably like a Monday night, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Why are there hundreds of people out here?
Yeah, this is taking me by surprise.
Shit on a Friday or something. I don't know. Terrible start to the week for them.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
don't these people have jobs?
Right. Are you students? Don't you have
these
homework?
Peasants, these bottom feeders.
That's right.
You wanted to come here. You're not even doing your goddamn work. You're doing this shit. That's probably what they're thinking. This is a part of the enrichment of being a student, though.
So do I need to roll anything to get us infiltrated into the university proper?
I would say
stealth in it, maybe.
Okay, in this case I'll give you an option. I will either give you a dexterity roll for trying to like sneak in,
his
or
dexterity is solid. Yeah.
Or a cunning roll to sort of discern the most optimal way in.
Well, those are both solid options for him. So
then I will leave it up to you.
Yes.
Go
ahead.
Do Buccio and Ade have to do anything in conjunction with Aiden's role at all?
I will say, depending on how well he rolls, will determine
go with cunning.
What, if anything, you guys need to do.
Should go with cunning. I won't be able to help you. Otherwise,
I'm going to roll dexterity here. I'm going to hope that I'm going to roll higher than I did when I was, having my cultists, gather people for the protest. Okay, that's not terrible. That's a 14.
14. Okay. You are not a stranger to sort of sneaking around campus and being places that you're not necessarily supposed to be.
This is how I live. Yeah.
So, you know of a few sort of backdoor options that you feel would be able to get you on a campus proper, with few, if anybody, being any the wiser.
Oh yeah, campus security is already terrible, and now they're just even more so.
And right now, most of them are currently distracted by what's going out up front.
Yeah. So he gets both of you in, no problem. You can see a shady fellow, just kind of locking the door behind you or shutting it behind you, making sure that your tracks are covered and that sort of thing, and then kind of like scooting away. Like you don't ever really see a face; it's hooded, and so, but like he's on our side. Like come on. So he will take his two companions through the esteemed and vaunted passageways of the university, knowing full well that as it is dusk and most professors and faculty have left for the day, like the people who normally work there for a living have gone to their respective homes or quarters, and mostly it's just students that are milling about, none of whom really have any interest in what Aiden is doing, except for his own people who would only aid and abet his current mission. So yeah, that's how he is going to do. Now I don't know if you need me to roll a cunning or anything like that, but like he's going to take them not directly to the office, but like the long way round, the scenic route, and he's going to whisper from place to place, like that's the quad, and it's this library, and this is where like somebody jumped out a 3-story window at one point, like completely naked, and and like regaling them with stories of like the
party talk. Let's get there.
Yeah. He's like, no, Bukio, like we're getting there.
Yeah. I would say you don't have to. Yeah, since you already rolled cunning to sort of like sneak your way in, I wouldn't say you have to roll for this. All it's going to do is like cost time to go.
Right, exactly. And so like 20-30 minutes later, like they are where they need to be. Obviously on the balcony side of said office. Not through the front door. The window is always unlatched, and so.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I just thought I'd slip that in there. Where the GM agrees or not is another matter entirely.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah. So that's there. We are going to enter upon the destination office here momentarily, assuming that Aiden is just assuming that the window's unlocked, so he's going to try the handle real quick and just in the way that's like, I got this, don't worry.
So balcony side, the office is on the 2nd level, so you do have to climb up there.
Oh yeah. And we did a whole Mission Impossible thing where it was like we're kind of tiptoeing along the balcony end here, like there's a little bit of a ledge, and we're kind of like up against the wall and moving into the office that way. Yeah. Okay. Just to make it a little bit more,
So you slowly climb up onto the balcony, and at the very least you do, Aiden, and you get up to the balcony and you try the handle on the door. Does not open.
Fuck! It's like shit. So, well then.
And you notice that inside the office, Lord Cochet is sitting at his desk working on papers.
Okay. Of course he would work past office hours, or his office hours would be late.
I said it would come at a cost.
That's fine. We got this. So he's going to swing back around the corner, and he's like, okay, he's in there. So.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, yeah. And he's going to be like, Subukio, you're good at this. This is your thing. We need you to knock on his door, draw him out, and then I can break in from the other side.
Well, if I draw him out, why don't you just come in through the damn door?
But because he might fight
You're
us.
so smart. I'm assuming Ucho would
Keep it
just
simple.
lure him downstairs or something.
I can say I'm a transfer student.
You can say that they're specifically slandering Lord Couché.
Yeah, because they can't see me. Yeah.
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Like I'm a concerned student who's hearing all this bad talk about him, and that those damn protesters downstairs are talking crap about him.
Can you hear the protesters from where we are currently?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, he's just like, whatever. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean from
to be rich.
Yes. I would say, I mean, from here, it's not the most loud it could be. Like outside, you can definitely hear it better. Like you have a feeling if you were inside the building, you would have a bit of a tougher time hearing it. But outside, you are able to hear the commotion off in the distance.
And I'm sure he's got better things to do. He's not exactly concerned with what they might be protesting about. So it makes sense that he's still in his office.
There's talk about him and a goat.
Right, which you need to tell him, right? He needs to be made aware of this, obviously.
These horrible things they're saying about him.
I know.
They're burning him in effigy.
God, yeah. I mean, his whole reputation is going up in flames.
Yeah.
Are we on the back side of the school, right?
Yeah, like where like the office is sort of like the middle back of campus.
Are you good, Buccio?
Yeah.
Me too. Is there a way for us to get the rioters into like the front, through those front doors?
Like through the gates?
Through those front doors.
They got Cheviers there. I don't know if my people will be enough.
We might start killing them at that.
Right, exactly.
I don't think we want anyone to die.
Due process. Perish the thought.
Perish the thought.
I have the feeling this is an oppressive society.
Right, exactly.
You want to eat cake and die, peasant.
I don't think we want to urge them inside.
Right.
Okay.
Does he go by like Lord or Professor? Or like what title should I like refer to him as?
I would say either one works. You are a confused, lost student, so you wouldn't even know which title. And the more awkward you are, the better, probably. Yeah.
I want to appeal to his ego.
Right.
But
We'll call
wouldn't he
him
also
Lord,
be like,
Lord
how
Professor.
the fuck
then.
did you get in here? Considering that there's a bunch of chevaliers and shit outside, so I think this could also potentially make him more concerned, but for different reasons that are not great. Because we have established that there is a blockade.
Let's do this. Let's do this thing.
No. What?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, space-eating leopards! I love those.
Ande, if he gets attacked or anything, you can certainly jump in and even the fight.
I can.
Yes.
Are you the one with the knives?
I believe in you. But
I believe in you.
Buccio
Be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes, exactly.
Buccio is going to do that thing where he like punches himself in the face.
Yes.
And he just keeps punching himself in the face.
Do you need help? And Aiden punches him too.
No. I got this one.
Aiden just beats the shit out of him.
Until he has kind of like a fat lip and a little bit of blood dripping from his chin. And then he definitely gets his staff and really starts leaning on it hard.
Perfect.
Wait, you should rip your clothes up a little bit.
They're already ripped. I'm poor, remember?
You can wear stuff from my house.
Yeah,
but
and he's like,
just normal.
Okay, I guess I'll need some new clothes after this.
Okay. I don't know what that sound was.
I am so curious how this is gonna go.
Well, the thing was that I had pictured that Ade prepared right, like I said, she's gonna wear nondescript, like just commoner clothing there to the university. But then she also put shit change into at a tavern halfway to the fucking port, just in case, because these people are crazy a little bit.
Yeah, you never know.
I would have assumed that she would have asked Buccio if he would also like the same preparation in place.
Sure.
So don't worry, your already tattered clothes aren't getting more tattered. It's just the nice clothes. The nice commoner clothes are now looking like shit.
Yeah. And Aiden can stay out of sight. I mean, so that nobody see. He's just going to go in by himself.
And Aiden is going in the back way as soon as the Lord Professor Kusho leaves, or as soon as he has an opportunity. He's not going to waste any time. He's going right in the back way. Yeah.
All right, so you're staying at the back of the balcony, just waiting for the cue to just get in there as quickly as possible.
This is going to be a pincher move, like Buccio one end, Aiden the other. It is
All right, sounds good. Well, while all of that is happening, Aosia, if I recall, you are out in the crowd currently.
In a cloak.
In a cloak, in the crowd. Okay. So you're just in the middle of this crowd, and it's just getting rowdier and rowdier by the second, as just time is going on. And eventually it gets to the point where people in the front start picking up rocks and just whatever, and just start throwing them at the soldiers and chevaliers.
Oh God.
Can I say something for this event?
Sure, depending on what it is.
So let's say last night I snuck into the kitchens and I just took a whole bag of tomatoes.
Okay, sure.
And inside the tomatoes, I put also, and I made sure they were nice and mushy, when I got them to. Bruised a few of them myself just for impact. And a few of them are some of my specialty powder bombs of paprika and itching powder.
I'll allow it.
This is kind of like your little homemade kind of pepper spray, but in the tomato. And so I'm just gonna kind of subtly pass this around in the crowd.
Just pass them or just disperse them to the crowd.
I usually see somebody with their hand relaxed, boom, and I move on to the next person, and then boom. I'm just kind of going about handing out tomatoes.
Okay.
And in this, I'm keeping an eye out for anybody who looks kind of not into it, but observant. Somebody who's looking like I'm looking.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, sort of passing them out, make me a perception roll.
Percepi. 11.
11. Okay. There's a lot going on in the crowd right now, and you are a little preoccupied by one of the tomatoes landing straight into a soldier's face, and his immediate cries of pain and discomfort that you don't really notice anybody else sort of being an observer of sorts in the crowd, at least in any specific fashion.
All right. Well, I don't want to kind of activate the crowd really, or do anything that might get my neck on the noose. But I think my main thing will kind of just be, I'm just here to observe until Aiden comes around. I'm kind of just trying to continuously watch faces, see anybody who's kind of putting on a show. So I don't really think there's much more I can do it.
Yeah. All right. And then sort of like you see Aiden's associate slash devotee slash whatever you want to refer to her as, Valeria, at the front of the crowd, just cussing these chevaliers out, and she walks up to them and just spits right in one of their faces.
My girl!
To which the chevalier then promptly punches her in the face.
Can I just launch a subtle heal her way?
You can try. Well, I would say, let's look at the prerequisite of heal real quick. Yeah, your touch seals wounds and restores vigor.
Oh
so,
shit! So I have to touch
so
her?
you have to walk up to her and touch her in order to heal her.
That's a little too much heat on my back. You know what? The battle scar makes it look better. So
just an NPC.
Just an NPC.
Not just an NPC, a very special
Don't
NPC.
make more.
So yeah, I'm gonna be like, holy shit, or holy maker.
Yeah, and when she gets punched, she gets like knocked down to the ground, and then like a couple other people in the front start helping her up, and that sort of activates them. Okay. Who start getting like more aggressive with the people in the front, and things are starting to get quite rowdy quite quickly.
Maybe I'm like, where's Aiden?
Speaking of which, cutting back to that whole ordeal that's going on right now.
All right, Bushio, act for your life.
He was born for this role. He's ready.
Yeah. So I trust you implicitly.
You find your way into the building and work your way up to the second floor until you are outside.
He's
leaning
really, on that.
Really hamming it up.
Yep.
And you eventually get out to where you approximate the office door to be based off of where you saw it outside.
And he will just kind of say in like a loud voice, he says, Lord Professor. And he'll kind of just walk over, and he's kind of like knocking on doors. Like, even if he doesn't know if it's the right one, he's like, Lord Professor, please, a word, please.
Okay. Aiden, you see from lurking outside the balcony window, that Lord Cochet sort of like stops whatever he was doing and then like looks up as he's hearing a ruckus in the hallway.
Annoyed.
And very annoyed. But he stands up and heads over to the door as Buccio is knocking on it with his staff, and opens up the door.
And with his best Puss in Boots look, as his staffing just kind of looks up, and he's like, Lord Professor, it's horrible.
Who are you, and how did you get in the building?
I am just a humble student, and they are rioting outside. They're shouting evil things about you. You must flee. I fear they will breach the gates. Please come with me.
Okay. Make me a communications roll.
I love it.
Okay. And I'm adding in my deception.
Okay.
My deception of, so I get 5 to my, I can add 5 to my roll plus my 2 for deception. So I rolled a 14 to begin with, plus 5, so 19 plus 2, so is that 21?
Oh my good lord!
You know what? Oliver Twist.
Performance.
Please, son, come with me.
Come with me.
And You see that he like looks really annoyed, but also like some part of what
There's
you're
a tear
saying
just going down.
is like
A tear's going down, mixing in with the blood from his chin. So.
I mean, Tiny Tim would be proud.
what happened to you?
I was trying to get my way in here, and they assaulted me. These madmen. Please, Lord Professor, please. We must get you out of here.
I did not think that things were so serious out there. I heard things, but
They're terrible.
To think they're getting to this extent.
I feared for your safety.
And sort of like looks back for a second, and he just says, "One moment," and he closes the door, and you see him go back to his desk, and you see him go. You see him come back to his desk and tuck a couple things away in some drawers. Then he picks up what appears to be 2 envelopes, and he tucks them away on his person, and he heads back towards the door. And
Uchiyo's now leaning against the wall, huffing a puff.
And he opens it, and he opens the door back up, and said, "Where should we go?" Yes, Ade.
Where is Ade? Is Ade outside by the window, or did she come inside and is waiting for the...
I thought she was coming inside, so... And staying
Aiden's
out of sight.
through the window? Yeah. Is she gonna unlatch the window for him? Speak. Okay. All right.
That's what I thought. Is she'd either come in, unlatch the window for Aiden.
Okay.
So, that's the way I pictured it, at least.
Just jump him.
Buccio is... I'm new here, sir. Is there some administrative exit that might take you away from the horrible wretches outside?
The best exit from campus would be either the east gate or the south gate.
I will follow you, sir. You know your way better than I.
How long have you been here? And he's starting to walk with you.
Only a few weeks, sir. I really enjoy my time here. Until these horrible miscreants. Oh, it's terrible. And he'll shut up after that.
At this point, Aiden, of course, sees that he leaves. And of
yes.
course, he's got the envelopes with him. So he knows it's like, oh, now I've got to go after him. And he's going to immediately backtrack around and start...
Can she sneak behind him as he leaves to get into the room? As they walk away. Did he lock the door? Or simply close?
He did not lock the office door, no. He just closed it.
Okay, so when they get maybe 3 yards sticks. I don't think those are too big, right? 3 yard sticks from the door. She's going to
about 9 feet
and slip into the room so she can let Aiden in.
Okay. Make me a dexterity roll.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Gamers, let's pray. Alright, it's not that bad. Okay, let's see. And so it's going to be 3d6 to roll, right? Don't fucking fail me now. Oh, God. Thank you, Maker. I rolled a 14 and I have a +2, so 16.
Okay. You...
Holy God.
As Buccio and Lord Gaucher are starting to walk away, you sort of slip out of an alcove that maybe Buccio didn't even know was there, and just walk over to the office door, quietly open it up, making sure it doesn't creak or anything like that, and then you
Obviously, a lord would make sure that the hinges on his
are
door
nice
are
and
properly oiled.
greased. Yes, and you slowly close the door behind you and quietly close it.
All right, she's going to scoot to the window and unlatch it as quickly and quietly as she can manage.
Yes, and then Aiden's just hanging out like some horrible creature of the night outside.
He's gonna swing in. He's gonna kind of tumble in, and he's like, he's gonna point out. He's gonna point out the drawer that he saw Lord Professor Couche lock or close or whatever. But he stuffed something in there. He's like, but I've got to go after him because we got to jump his ass. So,
Okay.
so he's gonna be like, Ade, can you break in there, or do you need me to like break in there? Is that a magic thing you can do?
I can figure it out. Don't you even worry. And
Okay.
she's gonna, like we talked about, she's gonna start doing this sealing, the glyph of sealing on the door, and
Okay.
designate that only Aosia, Aiden, and Buccio can go
Okay.
in.
Okay.
And you know, basically he's gonna slip out the door like some kind of dark creature, and he's going to try to
Just swan dive out the window.
Oh yeah, and he's basically going to he's got to get out ahead of them. You know, he's got to know where he's going. So I don't know if you want to roll like cunning for that to understand like where Couche is taking Buccio.
Are you saying that Aiden's going after? I'm sorry, I missed that part because I was.
He's
about to
pursuing
roll
him.
for
Yes, he's in pursuit, but he
So then
also
she'll be like
doesn't.
they went this way. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
she'll
yeah,
go up
like-
the east wing.
Yeah, and he would go out after him, but he's going to have to rally he's going to have to gather a couple of his people to help mug the professor. Shake him down. So, you know, like
Kick his ass!
exactly.
Just jump him.
Exactly. You know, tie him up, like lock him away somewhere, you know, that sort of thing. So he needs to gather his people too. So basically he's going to be in pursuit, but he's got to go a long way around because he's got to like get a couple of his people. So, you know, he's like, come on, we're going to jump that asshole professor. So yeah. So, I mean, that's what he's going to be doing. He's in pursuit, but like in a wide kind of circular way because he needs to, you know, he needs to get reinforcements here because they're going to take him down. So
Buccio will sell it and will try to defend the professor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to keep it nice and clear and fair, I rolled an 8 plus a 3, which is an 11. That is my target number.
All right. So,
And
door
he
is
uses 3 mana, which I've marked.
door is sealed to all but you and your companions.
Can I latch the window? It's just
I-
a little paranoid.
Yeah, if you want, you can just close the window and latch it.
Yeah, maybe close the. No, I don't want to mess with the curtains. What if he happens to go around the back and he's like, "What the fuck are my curtains closed all of a sudden?"
Fair
Chilly.
enough.
Paranoid.
All right.
don't forget the drawer. Break into the drawer.
Yes, Aiden, make me a cunning real quick to see, not to see like how you can like get ahead of them or anything, just to see if you can quickly gather allies in like a 15-minute time span.
Yeah. Okay, that's an amazing roll. This is clearly meant to be. So that is a 14 base plus 3 for cunning, so that's 17.
Okay. I'd say you managed to round up 3 of your compatriots.
Yes! 4 on 2. I like those odds. They're gonna beat the shit out of Bukio too, but it's all in good fun. Like he's gonna tell them, like, hey, the little one is gonna fight, but don't hurt him too bad.
I gotta sell it though.
How dare you hurt Uchu?
Oh boy. All
like,
right.
Yes, I always hated that fuck anyway. You know?
and one of your followers is just like, yeah, let's fuck him up. Let's do it. And then just immediately like pulls out like a scarf out of like nowhere and covers up his face with it.
That's what we're all gonna do, you know, except for Aiden. Aiden is gonna be like,
just let it be. Just let it be known. Just let it be known that it's him.
That's right.
Does Buccio see any of this coming yet, or not?
They're not quite on you yet.
That's fine.
I love that Aiden's like, I need you to know that I'm here to change the trajectory of your entire life.
That's like petty to the most extreme, and I can appreciate it. Okay, so Aiden, question, are you going to be trying to sneak up on them, or are you just going?
Well, the priority is tackling him and basically, you know, tying him up and binding him and taking the letters. But if they can be sneaky about it, they certainly will ambush his ass if they can.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, make me a dexterity roll.
I would love to. Yeah. Okay, that's 13.
Okay. So put that on pause for just a second. Back at the office. Ade,
Yeah.
what you doing?
Oh, you know.
Looking through it. Yeah.
You know, the same.
All right.
Hot goss.
All right, sounds good.
She's going for the drawers first that Aiden pointed to see if they're open or if they're locked.
All right, you go for the one drawer specifically that Aiden was talking to you about, and you try to pull on it, and it just it does appear to be locked. Yes.
All right, cast the glyph of unsealing. I'm just playing. Is there a lock that I feel or see?
Yeah, there's a blatant lock like on the drawer itself.
Okay. Can I jimmy the lock with? I'm trying to think. Probably like a dagger. She knows she has a dagger. I'm just thinking she might need something a little bit thinner. Is there anything a little bit thinner in this room that she can use with the knife, maybe, to try and jimmy it?
There are a few. Make me a perception roll.
Like a fork.
Like a fork.
I don't know. I've never jimmied a lock in real life before. I'm just a little guy. Let's see. Alright. Perception. Please. Alright, it's a 12.
A 12? Okay. As you're sort of just like looking through places, you notice a few different like quills and that sort of thing for writing. You also know that, like also opening some of the like unlocked drawers, you do see a letter opener in one of them.
Mm-hmm. Let's try that.
All right. Okay. Make me a. Well, I guess you trying to sort of like unlock it, or are you trying to like force it open?
She's going to try and unlock it first.
Okay, then make me a dexterity roll.
You got it. What is that? All right, I've got a 2 to it. So let's see. Please. That would be an 11.
An 11.
Set it up.
No, you start like messing with it, and you're like, you've never really been the roguish type.
Not at all.
So you start like messing with it, and you feel like maybe it wants to start giving, but you like go to try and turn it, and it's just not going.
Okay.
And not releasing the mechanism.
This knife's too big. It's too big. All right. What other way can I do this? An arrow is not going to help here. I could try to force it open. I have a weird question, and the answer is probably no, but I feel like I should just ask, just for the fun of it.
Okay.
So I have shock, right, which is an attack. Now, maybe you're thinking, are you trying to blow up the desk? Not necessarily. The thought here is there a way to concentrate the shock on the lock mechanism enough to generate in a way to generate enough heat that it might melt? No? Is that impossible? Probably.
Let me look at the exact let me look at exactly how shock works. Let's
Is that
see.
what you thought I was gonna say?
No, it is not. Or the understand shock enemies at 6 yard by 6. Wow. Okay. I will allow you to attempt it. The roll will be pretty high, though.
Okay, because the target number to just use it as intended is 13, and it's usually Constitution versus spell power. So what target number would you like to increase this to? Or do you want to just wait to tell me until after I roll?
I will wait to tell you.
Okay.
And then sort of just gauge it from there.
Alright. Okay. I'm very nervous. Alright, that's not bad. 13 plus what the fuck do I have in spell power? 16.
16. Okay. You sort of like start channeling the magic, and you start feeling the electrical pulses crackling between your fingers, and you try and focus as hard as possible on just using it to just superheat the lock itself. And you're just trying to hold onto the energy to just heat up the lock, but you just can't quite hold it. So you end up releasing the energy in a semi-concentrated blast towards the corner of the desk, blowing off
the office.
blowing off the lock, but then also blowing off a good chunk of the desk as well.
Yes.
Oh no! One of the students must have gotten in. I don't fucking know. Anyways, oh Jesus. Fuck. Can she look out the window like real quick? Is there anybody down like out the window? She's kind of like peeking. She's like,
you like quickly look out the window. You don't see anyone immediately outside.
She's gonna unlatch the window and she's gonna kind of like throw the broken wood.
Just the chunks of broken wood out the window.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, no, is that stupid? Maybe she'll. Ooh, God, I don't. What do they look like? Do they look like they were burned? Do they look like they just splintered all of a sudden?
They look burned and splintered. Different pieces look burned or splintered.
Okay.
You destroyed the desk. Okay.
It's not entirely destroyed, just a chunk of it's destroyed.
Is it a chunk of the overall whole desk or the drawer itself?
No, like part, like the sort of like corner, like the very corner of the drawer where the lock was, and then like a whole like corner chunk of the desk.
Ooh. Anyways, that's a problem for somebody else. Are the documents inside?
You sort of pull the drawer open, and a couple of them do seem a little singed, but for the most part, they do appear to be intact.
Ah, perfect. She's gonna shove them down into her dress.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Start stuffing papers.
Yep, and then she's gonna she's gonna kind of like very quickly kind of try to in an organized frenzy, because she doesn't want to leave. At this point, it's kind of like she fucking blew up the desk, whatever. But you know, there's a method to the madness, so she's kind of like looking. Is there anything in any of the other drawers that she might find pertaining to? She's not reading what she just pulled out of that drawer. She was like, it's coming with me. It's coming with me. But is there any other correspondence or anything like that pertaining to the stuff with the students?
Make me a quick perception roll real quick.
I knew it was coming, don't worry. I was prepared. Alright. Okay, so that's gonna be 16.
Okay. You see as you're like quickly glancing around, you don't see out like anything that's necessarily
I'm
like
sorry,
pertaining.
15, if that changes anything.
Okay.
It's a +1.
Okay. You like sort of like quickly look around and you don't see anything that's like immediately out that's like screaming anything about students or anything, but you do clock a sort of a filing cabinet of sorts that you have a feeling potentially, if there was anything on his students, it'd probably be kept in there or something akin to that.
Can I open it?
Yep. Opens right up. This
Can I
one's
look
now
at Aiden
locked.
first? Can I look at Aiden KK first?
Yeah, you sort of.
I want to read his permanent record.
Yeah, you sort of like sift. You sort of like sift through until you eventually find Aiden's file, and it's decently sizable.
All right. That I'm just gonna tuck that in my bag. Tuck that in my bag. Well, I'll give like a cursory glance to see like, is there anything that like sticks out to me as I kind of thumb through a couple of the pages?
I guess sort of like what specific kind of thing are you looking for to like catch your eye?
Maybe perhaps like any off-color notes, I suppose, where it seems a little less like something that they would need to make notes about for a student attending classes versus like things that come off as like more of like this is an issue because I don't agree that this student is doing it sort of thing, like that, like those kind of notes. Where it's like more of a bias is being held. Just kind of looking for anything like that that might kind of point towards like, yeah, see, they have a problem with students from different places or different standings coming here. She's just kind of curious. That's what she's looking for.
All right, you do see like there are many comments in
Oh,
the
or if
or
there is any, because I am assuming that like the professors probably like review the students who are being accepted. You know what I mean? So any like, is there like any like disagreement placed in his file from professors that were like, we don't think that this student fits here? Like, would those be in these kinds of student files?
So you're looking through like the files, and you notice like any notes from like other professors of Aiden's. They don't really make mention of the fact that like he's from Kirkwall or the Free Marches or anything like that. They're not like drawing attention to that specifically. It's mainly just about his just behavior and attitude and like the effects he's having on other students and that sort of thing. But while you like clock Lord Cochet's notes, his notes do sort of mention a sort of some sort of like biases towards him being from the Free Marches and being like, oh well, of course he acts this way because he's not Orlesian, essentially. He's not cultured.
For those notes specifically, she will take them out of the folder, fold them up, stick them in her dress. Right, just in case she gets jumped. Who knows? Right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
She's gonna, because she's kind of like, time in her mind, time is very much of the essence, especially now that she's being blown up. She's like, I just don't want to be here anymore. I think that she's probably gonna just grab like some of the thicker files, just like some of the thicker, like the more weighted files that she sees, and kind of put them in her bag. Close that, and then, oh shit, oh fuck. She's checked the drawers. She's checked the filing.
She's got papers at the wazoo.
Is there an armoire or anything?
There does appear to be an armoire.
Or books
yes.
that look weird. I don't know.
Books that look weird.
Like things that look like, the armoire. She's just kind of like, she's really just searching for like any kind of documentation with the like. I thought you said like he had like a small like book thing, like bookcase or something.
There's like a couple bookshelves for like his like small library essentially that he keeps in the office.
It's just like, based off of like her experience, I almost love putting shit in things that look like one thing and they're not really a thing. So she's just kind of like giving a cursory glance to see like, are there any books that look kind of out of place, like not put back correctly? Like just kind of like not pushed in, or like maybe like, are some of the books on this bookcase dustier than others, and then others look a little bit more well loved? I don't know.
As you're going towards the bookshelves to sort of like start investigating, you hear a crash at the back of the window as a what appears to be a glass jar flies through the window and explodes on the ground and starts engulfing the desk in flame.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can I put it out?
Sure.
Can I stay away from the window so that I'm not seen and like rip down? I'm mean, like, I'm assuming that I have like a very little bit of time to like try and stop it.
Yes, this is like a very kind of.
So my immediate thought is like, what if I grab rip down the curtains to stay, like, kind of keep to the edge of the room, rip down the curtains from the window. That's just like one set, and then try and like smother it with the heavy ass curtains.
Okay. Make me a strength roll to rip the curtains off.
Oh no. Oh wait, hold on. What the fuck is this? Okay, there is an actual thing called strength. There's also like more terrible ones. Blessed. That's fucking crazy. I had 2 6s and a 3, so that's a 15 plus the fucking 1. The little itty bitty 1 bonus I have to strength. So 16.
Okay.
That's
you
insane.
you rip it off, and
She said, this is anxiety strength.
Yeah, you rip it. You manage to rip the curtains down, and you immediately like try to start like patting out the flames. Make me a perception.
She's literally gonna like throw it over it, like they do with like the fire blankets. Like throw it and then just kind of like step on it very quickly. Like stop. She's hoping the material's thick enough that it won't burst into flames. Essentially.
Yeah. So you throw the curtain over the desk and then get on the desk and start stomping on it.
Oh, I forgot you said it hit the desk.
Yeah.
I thought you said it exploded on the floor and it engulfs the desk in flames. Is the floor on fire or no? Just the desk?
Well, part of the floor is on fire, but it's mostly the desk that is on fire currently.
Okay, yeah. Let's smother the desk then.
Alright. So you
She
put
won't
it out.
get on top, but she'll, pat.
Yeah, she'll start like hitting it. Alright. And while you're doing that, make me a perception roll real quick.
I'm gonna die. It's not what you want to hear. Your GM say, that's going to be a... Please tell me I have more than a 1 in perception. I know! That will be a lovely number 13.
Okay. I will say, as you're starting to like try and smother the flames, you just outside the window, you hear another sort of lobbing sound.
I should go.
Coming from outside.
I should leave.
Which will give you a moment to be able to react to whatever it potentially may be.
It's a fucking giant nug. I don't know.
It's a golden nug.
She's like putting this on. It's just like, what? Let it go. She's just gonna like, it is time to go. So she's actually just going to get out of the room.
All right.
I think she's just gonna kind of open the door and peek and see if anyone's out there. She's trying to leave.
All right. As you open up the door and sort of peek outside, from behind you, you hear 2 more crashes through the window as 2 more bottles lob and more flames begin to engulf the office. But you peek outside and you do not see anybody immediately in the hallway.
All right, she's gonna stealthily try and get the fuck out of there.
Okay. All right, you go. And
I imagine that she'll probably, because they're coming in through the window, she's probably not wanting to go back the way that they came. Maybe going to the east wing as well is what I would think anyway.
All right, sounds good. All right. So, while that happened, Aosia, we're going to cut back to you and the riot going up out front.
Guys.
And
crazy at the riot here.
Yeah. And it is. It's getting more and more heated.
Are there Cheviers like suffering from like the pepper spray tomatoes because I love that.
It's more so like the common soldiers that are being affected by it. The chevaliers have like better stuff going on. You know, the chevaliers, they're made of sterner stuff than that.
Yeah.
So, you know, they went through the pepper spray training, and as you know, tomatoes filled with a horrible concoction, and rocks are just being thrown at them. People up front are like just getting in these soldiers' faces as you know, after Valeria got decked in the face, and as like the crowd is sort of like starting to like press up against the soldiers more, the soldiers just start like shoving them back, and a couple of them start punching people in the face, and one or two soldiers even start like drawing their swords and start like pointing at the crowd and threatening them to back off or things are going to get nasty.
Okay. Guys, we didn't discuss this in the plan. Am I supposed to do something? Am I supposed to intervene? Like, you know, kind of like be like, oh my god, like, you don't do a mage thing, but then, like, you know, one of the circle was like,
AOC turns into a dog.
This was the point of the contingency plan.
oh, if only I had a wet blanket here to protect me. No. Like, she's kind of like, am I supposed to wait for the documents? I've never really been to like a protest, so I don't really know how this goes. But they are kind of like beating people up. But okay. Okay, so like, say I wanted to do like Mind Blast. How quickly could I go to the front and then disappear in the crowd again?
Oh, okay.
This is the question. Not to say this is the plan.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at it to work it out logistically. Let's see.
Maybe I could try to rouse the crowd. You know?
Okay. It says you create because I know in the game it's like specifically centered on yourself, but here it specifically says you create a circular blast of telekinetic force with a 2-yard radius that's centered anywhere within 50 yards that you can see.
Wait, so I can just scope it? I can just place it?
Yeah, you can just be like, all right, front of the crowd. Those caught in the blast are knocked prone and cannot take a major action on their next turn. Targets that make a successful strength (might) test versus your spell power are only knocked prone. In either case, any prepared actions are lost.
Okay. How far are like the Chevaliers?
Chevaliers, they are, well, they're sort of like in there sporadically, but there are a few of them sort of like clustered, maybe like 25-30 feet from you.
Okay. No. Sometimes you just gotta do the thing, you know? You gotta go with your Mind Blast gut. I'm gonna cast Mind Blast.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both are doing so great. Like, they burned down the whole office, and now you're just gonna mind blast a bunch of shit. Oh, I love it.
I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of like Aiden and Bukio. The plan has gone awry. I've been waiting for Aiden for like 30 minutes.
At this point, you've been waiting definitely more than 30 minutes.
He's taking his time getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're like enacting the street chase, and I'm kind of like, oh.
I'm vibing in a fucking mosh pit, essentially.
You know what? Wait. Before I hit with a mind blast, right?
Before you commit to the mind blast.
Mind blast. I would like to try and rouse the people with Valeria at my side. You know, like just like kind of like talk about.
You want to like work your way to the front of the crowd to where Valeria is. Okay.
Yeah, because she's right in their faces. Like, she's right there.
Yeah, she's literally spitting on them and getting punched in the face.
Oh my god, but wait, if this goes back to the fucking mage tower, I was here and I was talking and I was doing dumb shit. Oh! Guys! I hate being a tool in the box.
I bet that boat sounds good now.
You know what? We have to do what is just. And Naosi is never one to keep her mouth shut. So,
Yes!
Naosi gets to the front, and she's gonna be like, Valeria, you stand with me. You and I both understand the injustice of this. We have to make sure that the crowd is just as, intensely lit by the heat of injustice as we are, by the actions of this university, this professor, and the wrongdoings they did to Aiden for finding out about it.
Yeah. And she sort of like staggers it slightly and like centers herself and looks at you, and she's just bruised, and her dwarven spectacles that we have since discovered are real are sort of like cracked and busted, and she just says, you're right, we have to.
You represent Aiden. You are his right-hand woman, and you stand for him right now in this moment of need, of the precipice of this movement here. We cannot allow them to just push us around. Like Valeria, you must speak.
Just really hype her up.
They took Aiden because his voice was too loud. They took Aiden because he wanted to defend the people of this university for the integrity of academia, and it was professors like Couchet whose plans, have been, drawn to thwart the ideals of this university, to lock out, students based on geographical lines, and insufficient thought. And so I'm just gonna
just spew a bunch of shit.
Like, you must rouse them, Valeria. You must rouse them.
Make a communications roll.
Maybe I should just maybe I need to not speak again. Communication should have been my second highest stat. The willpower has done fucking nothing for me in this game. All right, I'm fucking mad because the mage class was like, yeah, willpower, resist being taken over by demons. Willpower hasn't helped me. All right,
We just haven't really been in particular situations where it's been useful as of yet.
I have been sitting here pretty on a 15 in willpower. Jack shit. All right? Jack shit stat. And you know what? Should have gone to my communications, because I really could have used that 3 instead of a 1, because I got an 8.
And Valeria looks at you and says, no, the time for talk is over. We need to fight.
It's mind blast time.
And she just stands up and she raises her fist in the air and says, with me, everyone, we will take the university back from these heathens. And she immediately just runs at the nearest soldier and starts just like trying to like wrench his blade away from him, and a bunch of other people just start running towards the front and start getting at soldiers and chevaliers, and mind blast. Okay.
I'm
Like-
gonna do it like walking away though, you know, like kind of I'm gonna be like, oh, like, you know, like this is kind of like getting a little too intense for me.
Okay.
Lob a mind blast behind me.
Okay. All right. Roll me for mind blast.
Wait, I have to roll for mind blast?
Yeah. Oh wait, no. I need to roll. Well,
Yeah.
I'll make a
This
general.
is the cool mages don't look at mind blast thing.
Cool mate, just don't look at mind blast. Let's see. I will roll for 3 different groups of people.
Yippee! 14.
Okay. So they got to beat a 14.
Yeah, that's my spell power.
Okay. So the basically protesters who are caught in the mind blast vicinity.
Well, I was kind of trying to like lob it so they were like at the edge of it, you know, kind of
Okay.
like
Okay. Well, the few of them that are blasted backwards. Let's see. The normal soldiers are knocked prone,
But
and the chevaliers are knocked down to their knees, but they're they're the most composed out of everybody.
Great.
And as you're walking away, you just hear like panic sounds as to what just happened, and then like just the riot continues as more people start flooding towards the main gate, and eventually as you're worming your way out of the crowd, you do hear eventual screaming towards the front of the crowd as things get more violent.
Things kind of, got out of hand. I wonder how that could happen. Yeah, man. I'm still like on the lookout because we don't have our bait. So the whole thing that I was ready to sniff out the house of the repose with, the trap hasn't fully been set. So I'm just kind of looking around. Can I do another perception check?
Yeah, you can make a perception check real quick.
Okay, that's 4. And this one, 4. Okay. No, perception would have been a great stat to put that 15. That would have to be. What can I math? 13.
Okay. As you're working your way through the crowd, for a brief moment, you see a hooded figure wearing a harlequin mask, sort of like staring in the crowd, and as the crowd is sort of like, just moving in like a sea of bodies, you lose the form of that individual, but you do clock them for a brief moment.
Can I try and pursue, even though I've kind of like lost them in the crowd, like head off into a direction that I think they were going?
You can give it a shot.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, because why not? What else am I gonna do in this crowd aside from like mind blast?
Just mind blast people.
How do I roll for that?
Make a cunning roll.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Cunt City.
Population, us.
Me. Fucking me. Oh my god. Why do my dice hate me today? It's not even that bad. Okay, so I guess arcane lore, healing, and poison lore wouldn't apply. But I have a 12.
A 12. you manage to like worm your way through the crowd, and you manage to like as you exit as you exit the crowd, you for a split second see that hooded figure round the corner away, heading towards the eastern gates to the university.
I'm in full sprint.
All right, and you head off. And while that is happening, we go back to Aiden and Buccio.
Oh yes.
And Buccio, as the two of you, as you and the Lord Professor are walking, he says, as you're walking towards the exit, he says, "How did you know that I was in my office? You don't seem to be a student of mine. I don't recognize you."
I was told to look for you, Lord Professor. I wasn't even sure if you were in your office. I just ran up because there are students who are concerned about you. So that's why I called out, and thank the Maker I found you.
Who told you to look for me?
Jeffrey is one of them. And then there was another one, a sparrow, a little bird, told me that you've got to go find the Lord Professor.
Are you concussed?
I believe I may be. And by then, do we start to smell smoke from like fire?
Oh yeah, you definitely like see and hear a lot of shit just going on.
Please, we've got to get going.
And he sort of like looks back and he just sees smoke billowing out of the building, and he just says, "Oh, sweet Maker," and he begins walking a bit faster. However, as the two of you are walking, Aiden, you and your compatriots are laying in wait in shadow,
yes!
Ready to strike.
And they do. They just jumped him right there. And you know, as he turns the corner, they're waiting for him. And you know, four figures leap out, you know, and you know, with Aiden right there leading them.
All right.
And tackle him to the ground.
Okay. Make me a so I'm assuming you're tackling the
Lord Professor.
The
Cuscio.
Lord Professor.
Yeah. Cuccio or Cuscio or
Cochet.
Lord Cruise Ship.
Coochie.
Lord Coochie.
Lord Coochie.
Okay, and I will roll for your companions to tackle Buccio.
Yes.
Does Buccio get a chance to defend himself?
You do get a chance.
Or is it an ambush?
Well, it is an ambush, but
do what you need to. It's fine. Keep
yeah.
it
Okay. Yeah. One of them, it basically like steps out of the darkness and just fucking clotheslines you, and
but I'm short, so he swings and misses.
No, he saw you coming, so he
he
compensates, and he just clotheslines you and basically just like choke slams you to the ground, essentially, and. You got an 18 with no bonuses. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Down goes Buccio.
Definitely get the wind knocked out of you for sure. And he's just like holding you down. This is definitely the biggest guy out of all the people. And one of the other guys attempted to tackle Buccio, but was not expecting the efficiency of this other person, so he ends up basically just launching over them and then just like sliding across the ground, basically.
Wow.
And So what did you roll to tackle the Lord Professor?
A 12. It's not well. What attribute would it have been?
I would say I'd say Dex or Strength.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Dex because his strength is not as he doesn't work out much. He doesn't lift, so I'm gonna go with dexterity, which is actually 14 then.
All right, 14. Yeah. All right, you're
trips him.
Yeah. I say your one companion tries to leap for him like just ahead of you.
Yeah.
But Lord Cochet is able to like quickly and reflexively pull out a dagger.
Holy shit!
And slices at him, sort of like cutting him across the chest. But that gives you the opportunity to tackle Lord Cochet to the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah, and down he goes. Yeah, and so he's gonna immediately like wrestle him to the ground, like try to tie him up.
Try wrenching the knife away and sort
exactly.
of thing.
Try wrenching the knife away. Try to disarm him, so. Yeah. So the other thing here is, I don't know if. Well, I guess this wouldn't be a backstab type of situation. So probably not that. But yeah, he's basically going to try to wrench the knife away and take the envelopes from him that he saw stuffed in his pocket, and then rally his two other people besides the fridge that is currently holding Bukio down. He's going to rally his other two ne'er-do-wells and have them like pin down Couché here to the ground. So
the one who got sliced across the chest, he like quickly like runs over and like holding him down. And then the other guy. And then the other guy who basically like scraped his face against the ground, he gets up and runs over and starts pinning Cochet down as well.
Yeah, tie him up! Come on!
And then between the three of you, the knife does get like wrenched away and tossed aside, and you immediately start like tying his wrists behind his back.
Gag him! Make sure he can't speak!
As someone like grabs an extra scarf that they just carry on them, so many scarves on these students, and it just like ties it, just ties it around his mouth.
Yes, exactly. And then, like I said, Aiden's going to reach in there and he's going to grab the two letters, the two envelopes that he saw him stuff in there, and kind of put it in his coat of many things, and then it's like, excellent job. Now drag him off someplace where it'll take forever for them to find him.
Right, and they immediately like sit him up, and the one guy who got like cut across the chest, he starts like holding his chest and then just collapses on the ground.
Oh no, not Benvolio.
and then as he like lets go, Lord Cochet immediately starts like trying to like wrench free and like stand up and run away.
That's not happening.
And then the one guy is like trying to like restrain him as best as he can, preventing him from running away. And he's just like, "Is he dead? Is he dead?
I think he might be. I think he might be."
And then like as he's like trying to run away, you see his eyes sort of like go wide for a second, and Aosia, you see this in tandem actually. As you round the corner, you see the same hooded figure standing at the gates, a bow drawn, and as they turn, you see them release an arrow, and as the arrow is released, you just see the arrow just sink into Lord Cochet's throat.
Oh!
and blood just starts like dripping out from under the scarf as he's like coughing and trying to like gag for breath before he just like slumps over.
Hold on, what do I have in my arsenal again? Mind blast.
Okay. All right, so you're mind blasting.
I'm mind blasting Mr. Arrow.
Okay.
Or Mrs.
So you mind blast, and basically, like as soon as they loose the arrow, just they are just like knocked down to the ground. The bow flying from their hands.
And I'd like to do something as well in tandem with that. I don't know. Okay. So there's a stunt bonus, right? I want this to be a stunt move, and so like Aosia has laid this assailant out on the ground, and Aiden is going to seal the deal by flinging open his coat and whipping like 2 or 3 or 4 daggers out, but not to hit the guy like directly dead on, but like to pin them to the ground, like by their clothes. Like you might see like somebody pinned by their clothes with like all the daggers in them. Like he's gonna be like, because he wants to look cool doing it. So he's flourishing. He throws open the coat, pulls out the daggers, like V for Vendetta. Basically like he just flings the daggers forward and like is pinning the guy to the ground after Aosia mind blasts the shit out of him.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I guess make me an attack.
Yes. However that happens, because I haven't attacked anybody yet this game, so...
I guess, that's true. You were restrained the entire time.
Yes, exactly.
Aiden's first combat!
Yes! So I assume this is dexterity that we're deploying here for the daggers and the throwing knives. It says dexterity on here.
I would say that would make sense. So let's go with that.
Let's go with that. All right. So that is, okay. He's not going to look as great as he wants to, but that is a 12. I mean, maybe he accidentally hits him. Instead of pinning him down, maybe he actually hits the assailant here.
Yeah, you just fling one of your daggers, and it sort of just like grazes the mask of this person. But it does not quite make contact with them. And
that was a warning shot. Stay down.
And they sort of like quietly start trying to get up, or not like silently, wordlessly try and get up.
Yeah.
Don't make me do it again.
And they look over in Aosia's direction.
You know what brains look like on concrete? I do. Mind blast.
And I'm gonna just like kind of use my staff to kind of like try and kick up the mask from their face.
Oh, you like walked right up to them?
Yeah, like I've started approaching and like kind of like I want to just kind of flick it off.
Okay.
I can do that. I don't know if I'm taking it out of turn,
Aiden's gonna help if he can.
We'll say you like start approaching, and we'll say you they don't move, and you manage to sort of like knock the mask off, But then as you knock the mask off, just an explosion of smoke just it releases from them as they smash something into the ground.
Oh, okay. So obviously, part-time ninja is gone. Disappeared with the whisper of the wind and the smoke. Can I possibly go? Is like Couché dead?
You can like go and check on him real quick, and Ade, I would say as
arrow
you
to the throat, didn't he? Like,
he did take an arrow straight to the throat. Yes.
Listen, but like it's been less than 1 minute.
But as you are all this is happening, Ade, I would say you hear this commotion as you're finally making your way this way. And you see Buccio being pinned to the ground by a behemoth of a student. Another student laying down on the ground. Lord Cochet down on the ground, and Aiden and Aosia
standing over a cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
I don't see the person that they attacked, right?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so how long has it been since Lord Couché
got shot in the throat?
Yeah. Because I don't think it's very long that people can it really is like fight or flight, and how fast you're bleeding out, I guess.
I'd say
that's like maybe 60 seconds to 100
I'd say maybe 30, 45 seconds, something like that.
Do I see Aosia going in Lord Couché's?
Yeah, she's walking in your direction, which also happens to be Lord Cochet's direction.
And I'm still hidden, yes?
If you wish to be so, yes, you are.
I would love to be so. I don't know this. Listen, I don't know this motherfucker. He doesn't pay my bills. I also am an apostate, so... May the Maker have mercy on your soul if you don't make it. If Aosia doesn't get to you in time, sorry, bro. I think Ada's gonna kind of stay where she is. She's gonna kind of look to see if, because just like, this is obviously another student. Aiden is there. I don't think they're actually like gonna stomp the yard with Buccio.
No.
She missed the clothesline though.
He's okay. He's okay. You can let him go. He's all right.
And
does she see? So like from what I'm imagining,
and the one guy just like lets Buccio go.
Bulking a little bit, like she hasn't announced her presence, so she's kind of just like assessing the scene. Couché has an arrow in his throat. There's smoke everywhere. People look confused. I'm sure people have screamed. Somebody else probably saw a random professor get shot, essentially.
There's a chance of that, yes.
Is there, from where she's like just kind of hidden, just staying back, can I make a perception roll to see if I notice anyone else in the vicinity that's like either one trying to quietly slip out of the crowd, or like is kind of like watching and clocking these people here, this scene that's unfolding?
Yeah, you can make a perception roll for me for that.
Okay. 15.
15. Sort of peer around, and you notice like a couple other students like off in the distance just looking in this direction and immediately start running off in some other direction.
Oh shit.
But As you look around for like any other like suspicious figures, you're not seeing anybody catching your attention.
Okay. Do I see... I see the arrow in his throat. I didn't see this person shoot him, but do I notice the bow on the ground? Or is it obscured currently?
I'd say you could probably make it out in sort of like dissipating smoke, but it's not like overtly obvious at the moment.
Okay. Am I able, like, how, like, would I be just walking straight out into the public eye, essentially, if I were to go for the bow on the ground?
I mean, technically, yes.
I don't know
But
how close it flew to something else. If it was like, you know what I mean?
It's more just like immediately outside the gate because that's where the person was standing when they were using it.
Sorry, there's a cat on the stove. They don't even know how to cook. I don't.
Yeah,
understand.
dangerous place for them to be.
Right? Okay. You said it's by the gate. I'm imagining like I'm probably along like the wall of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Am I close-ish to a point of the gate, or is it like I would have to cross to go over to the gate?
No, I'd say you're like relatively close to it.
Okay. You know, she's very nondescript shit. Yeah, she's gonna just go for it. She's gonna kind of use the mass pandemonium to be like, oh no, and she's gonna try and grab it, and then she's gonna keep running, and she's gonna have to keep running in the direction that the other students are running.
Okay, sounds good.
That feels like probably the easiest way to go about this, because I'm just like, she's probably like, at this point, I don't know if we've been like compromised. What the fuck is going on with this scene? Things have definitely not gone to plan, and I kind of thought that would be the case, but I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer. So she's just like, I'll simply kind of like sneak over and grab it and then run in the same. Oh no, shit! Someone got shot. In the same direction as the other students.
Okay.
Put on a little performance, if you will.
So I'd like to do a thing, if that's okay.
All right.
First, Aiden's gonna say, Aosia, that was awesome. Like, just, you know, he knows that Aosia mind blasted the shit out of that assassin, so that was great. He's gonna check to make sure Bukio doesn't have any broken ribs from the 500-pound student that sat on him. So,
that's awful kind of you.
I was like, he just gets larger and larger.
Like he was Kunari, clearly, you know, like he was just
Kunari in another life.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, just sat on him. So, you know, he's going to make sure that he's okay, that he's currently not suffering a crushed rib cage and everything, that he's still all right. He's going to help him up, you know, if he can. And then
you got the wind knocked out of you, but you don't think you've sustained any serious injuries.
Lasting injuries, yeah.
He's just gonna grumble. He's like, "You fucking owe me."
Oh yes, I do. But you were part of this grand freedom operation. So, and on that note, he's like, "Your service will be remembered." And then he's gonna look around, because obviously the situation now is that, you know, the students have broken through. Like a whole bunch of people got mind blasted somehow. They got laid out. You know, nobody saw who did it, but you know, just like people, you know, crashed through the choke point there, and he is looking for one particular person who may be at the front of this mob. You know, and he's keeping his eyes. He's peeling his eyes for Valeria. Should I make a perception roll?
Yeah, make me a perception roll.
Oh my god, Valeria's dead. Oh shit.
All right, so that is. Oh, hold on. Let me pull this up. That is a 12.
A 12.
A 12.
You're keeping an eye out, and you are not seeing Valeria at the front of the crowd.
And he's going to turn around. And he's like, says to Yosia, "Did you see her? Did you see Valeria? Do you know where she was last?"
Yeah, she was like at the front of the crowd, and then like so crazy, kind of like something hit the soldiers, and then like kind of people got knocked back, and but she was leading them with gusto, kind of like they punched her in the face, and she kind of like spat in their face back, like total badass, like boss bitch all the way. But I was a little distracted chasing a dude in a Harlequin mask because I couldn't fucking see anybody.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of just me in the crowd for like the past 2 hours, just sort of just keeping an eye out, waiting for you to show up.
I appreciate it. I do. I think we've all done great work tonight, but they need me. And then he is going to head over to where his gathered crowd is. Is like, friends or legions, countrymen, I am here. I am alive. I am here to lead the revolution.
And you see, and as you get out there, first off, basically you're like as you're like trying to run out through those gates, you almost immediately are like stopped by the soldiers who are in front of those gates, being like, "What the fuck you doing? There's a riot going on right now. Get back inside." But also, as you like get out there, you see that the crowd is sort of like starting to disperse as there are now several bodies at the front of the crowd that are slumped on the ground.
He's willing. I think I know those people, though. You gotta let me go.
And one of the one of the soldiers says, "Get your ass back inside."
Do you know who I am?
I don't care. Get your ass back inside. I'm doing my job now. Keep yourself safe. Get in there. And he basically like shoves you back through the gate.
Go away, or I should taunt you a second time.
I say, but as you is sort of like are there and are able to see the bodies, you do see laying across at the very front, Valeria is laying face down on the ground.
Yeah, and as they're like hauling him away, he's like, he's trying to like fight, and he's like, "Valeria, I'll come back for you." And then he's being like hauled off. He's like, "Hold me back." It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, and you basically just get
arrested,
shoved.
again.
Yeah, just shoved back inside, and one soldier escorts you back in.
Yeah. But he's gonna make a big show of it. That he's fighting the authorities here.
Mm-hmm.
Not well.
And I was saying, as you cry out for her, Valeria does not respond.
And there's this dramatic slow motion scene of him like trying to reach over the soldiers that are pulling him back, and seeing her there, and shouting and everything like that. It's very dramatic. It's a good scene. Yeah.
Good to know.
Was I able to get to Couché in time?
Yeah, are you trying to save him?
Yeah, I mean, I want answers from this motherfucker. So like, he's not dying until I want him dead.
Make me a God. I know there's like a medicine roll in here somewhere. I just don't remember what it is specifically. Let me see if I can find it.
Can it be cunning because AK poison lore? And also I have healing as a focus.
In cunning?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will allow you to use that then, yes.
Okay, great.
I say poison lore won't work here, but you can use poison lore on the other guy who just fucking collapsed out of nowhere.
I'll get to use them.
Yeah, it was just like a stat I can use.
That means I get a +1 to what I did.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And so okay. 5, 6, 1. +2 + 1. So that's 11 + 2, 13 plus another 2. 14.
14. You do your you're like doing your best to like staunch the bleeding, and Lord Cochet, through his half mask, sort of like is looking at you like with a look of desperation before eventually you just see the light fade from his eyes.
Oh, damn it! And not even heal worked? Like the spell? Ugh. I think I have magic.
Is she doing like...
just kind of frustratedly just let him go. And go over to like reading the like poison student or whatever, but like it's just like this look of kind of like held back rage a little bit. Frustrated. Very fucking frustrated.
Yeah. Make me a cunning roll.
Oh, all right.
And you may add your poison lore to this one.
All right. Well, welcome to Cunt Central. We just hit the building. 5, 5, 3. Plus my cunning, which is 2, so that's 15 plus 1 because I have arcane the fucking like poison lore. So that's 16. Would have been great for my boy Cliche.
Yeah. So you are able to discern that the poison that was used on him is called Quiet Death. It is it's my new metal band. Thanks for the support. It's called Quiet Death, and it's an extremely rare and powerful poison. And you know that as soon as this guy got cut, he was dead. Like, as soon as he got cut, there was no hope for him.
Cool. Absolutely fucking amazing. Get up. I might as well heal you because it's the only thing I can do because everybody else is fucking dead. I don't mean to yell at you. I'm sorry. And for my one useful action of the night, how badly did he get hurt? Like, did he take like HP damage, or is it just kind of like it was oof?
And that it was kind of just oof.
All right, cool. Then I'm just gonna like sit down and like pout. quite upset about the plan going so badly awry.
Fair.
I think we gotta get you back to the tower, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Did
Yeah.
I manage to grab that bow?
Aiden, loot the body.
Oh, I
Letters.
already got the letters. I
Okay.
took the letters first when I wrestled him to the ground. That was
Okay,
the first thing I did. Yeah.
Yeah, before he got shot in the throat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise we're good. So,
No, he's kind of worried he's in order, but he also got his dramatic moment in, so he's kind of happy. But he sees the OC is not happy, and he's like, come on, we gotta get you back to the tower probably. Wet blanket will miss you.
Yeah, because Ade wants to be out of here. Like, I mean, I'm so serious. If she can grab that
So
bow,
serious.
she's not
I'm
fucking
so
waiting.
serious.
She's not doing the discussion.
I imagine
Students are
Ade's
still
not-
running away. She's going.
She's
She
like
will
twice
not
the
be
size
here.
as she was when she got in here.
Yeah, she has so many. She has
Don't
so many paper
worry
stuff in her
about
dress.
All right, so let's get out of the university. Like, fucking hop.
I'm imagining she's already halfway to the fucking tavern by now.
Yeah, I would say all of you just fucking scatter and it just get out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And
One of my cultists is left behind as a witness for what happened.
yeah, okay. So I guess sort of as we're winding down, where does everybody go and what does everybody do?
Ade talked about Amscran from town.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's the thing. No. Here's the sorry. Here's the thing. The way that I was sitting here envisioning what was happening is that so much went bad so quickly. So she came out and she was like, "Oh, there's Aiden. There's Bushio on the ground with this big fucking linebacker ass student over him. Okay. Oh, there's smoke and there's a man with an arrow in his throat, and that would be the professor. That's not great." So she was like, "I should go. I cannot be caught here. My spidey nobility senses, whatever, are tingling. I cannot be caught in this. I'll get in so much trouble." Because like leaving the port is like last ditch effort if she got caught. If everyone else got caught, we will deal with that. If she gets caught, she has to leave town. So I imagine that she's just gonna head to the tavern, and that like when she was setting all that up and stuff, like before she and Buccio met up with the others and stuff, she probably just went, paid for like the room, and left clothes to change into there. Because if no one is specifically clocking her and after her, she's just gonna get changed and she's just gonna chill in there. Actually, she may even potentially change rooms because she is paranoid. After changing, gonna just kind of like dump the nondescript mask, the commoner's clothes, put on some fresh digs, be in another room, and she's just gonna kind of like wait it out and see like what the fuck's happening. She doesn't want to bring any heat home, I think, is the big thing. But if nothing happens for a few hours, and she's like waiting for Buccio. I think that she and Buccio were like, we will meet up here because we foresee that there could be complications.
Definitely.
Right? I think that I think they're probably on the more pragmatic like side, maybe even towards pessimistic. They're like, let's just assume that it won't go perfectly. So she will be there waiting for Buccio. She will have left like a I feel like she'll tell like the tavern, or the innkeeper, whatever, like waiting for my companion to arrive. Yay tall. Looks like we'll be wearing this. Can you just let him know I had to switch rooms because there was, I don't know, fucking bedbug infestation. That one, I don't know. She makes up some bullshit excuse. So that's where she is currently.
All right.
And she's going over these, because she is going over these documents.
All right. And Buccio, I'm assuming you go and
Yeah.
meet up with her.
Yeah. When he arrives, he'll probably just go sit on a bed and just try to relax.
You good?
Yeah, it was only
You
supposed
were
to
on the
be.
ground.
Yeah. Yeah, I
What
really
was that
sold
about?
it, didn't I?
Yeah.
But my cover is I'm a hero.
Maybe they'll make you a statue.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
You don't sound very happy.
He'll like rub his throat and yeah. That was supposed to be just a quick distraction, not burn the entire university down.
Oh, by the way, when you guys left and I was in the office, I did manage to find some things. I was kind of worried and panicked a little bit because I may have destroyed the desk in my failed attempt to melt the lock. Don't ask. It's not important. Anyways, I was a little bit worried about hiding that per se, and was thinking about how I might need to like ransack the room to make it look a little less obvious that I was specifically looking for one thing or whatever. But somebody threw in fire bombs, so that is not a problem.
I don't think there's going to be
Multiple.
Yeah, I think your tracks are covered. I wouldn't worry about it now.
Do we know if our other two companions left all right?
I would assume so. I'm sure Aiden's frenzied mob got him out of there safely. I don't know about Eosio though.
Yeah. All right. And Aiden, where do you go and what do you do?
Well, I imagine he, insofar as he can, he helps Aosia get back to the tower. If that's what she wants. If she doesn't want to go back, then I understand that too. I'm sure that we can work something out there. But if she's going back to the tower, he will escort her back. But he is going to. The epilogue here is that he is going to return to his, to take stock of what's happened with his cultists, to check in on Valeria, to see if she's still alive or not, or if she's given her life to the cause, in which case she'll be properly memorialized, and her name will be remembered on the in the dark book of the AK-47. And he will be, she will be, her deeds of valor shall be remembered. Or if she's alive, then she's won Aiden's like eternal like respect and commendations. He will of course help her to set up operations in Antiva, as was the plan, but not before an academic tribunal is set up, wherein the nefarious deeds of one Lord Professor Cuccio are on full display with the letters of intent, and of course there's also a hearing with students present, half of whom were part of the cult, and half of whom want to be part of the cult. And and they're there basically standing up for academic freedom, and also students from all walks of life and places, because we're not just talking about people from different geographical locations being deported from the university, but also like common people given a chance to finally have an education, and elves too. And so this is an ongoing this is an ongoing saga, a trial even, and one that is a reckoning even for the university and its status. So they're Aiden has much work to do with his organization of students, and eventually this is all resolved one way or the other. So yeah.
Yes. Well, to the honestly though, I would say, well, yes, you all get a chance to epilogue. Well, to answer your Valeria
Dragon
question,
Age, right? We want epilogues, right?
Yes, you gotta get it. Yes, everyone.
Right. It's just the fact you jumped into the epilogue when the semester was even done.
I was ready.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can just go to. It's
And
fine.
here we end our story.
I say we're epiloguing for the season. We can epilogue. It's fine. But for the Valeria question, she is still alive. She's not doing well.
No,
but
that's
she is
fine.
Still alive.
She's in a wheelchair and bandaged up and everything. Yeah.
She's bedridden.
Yeah.
She's bedridden, cut up, and badly bruised, but she is alive.
Yeah. And honored and respected member of the AK-47. Yeah.
Yes, naturally. All right. Well, Buccio, how about your epilogue? What's your epilogue for the season?
He probably wants to get the hell out of town, honestly. This is really a revolution. Isn't quite what he signed up for. He really didn't know what he was doing in this town. He probably could, get a statue built or something like that. But he's all for just getting out of here.
All right. Ade.
Yes.
Your little epilogue wrap up for the season.
I mean, no one knew she was there, right? No one knew she was there. So, okay. No one who came to kill her right now knew she was there. Therefore, she is probably... I feel like the plan would be to kind of go through these documents with the group real quick, figure out what exactly is important and what they're looking for. I'm thrown off. Are we epiloguing shit?
I will say we are doing season 2, so we are gonna doing that. We're just epiloguing for the season, little season wrap ups.
Got it. I think then what I will say,
and as for all the letter information or what's important, I'll disclose in the Discord what you find of what's important and what isn't important.
Perfect. Then yeah, I think she while she and Bucci are kind of laying low, kind of giving time for the streets to clear, the heat to kind of go down, probably looking over these documents together and whatnot. And then I imagine that the next morning she'll probably make plans to go back to the estate. Any documents that they found that do seem like they could be important or need further scrutiny, I think she's maybe we keep these somewhere safe. And I don't know exactly where she's gonna keep them safe yet, but she's what better place than the estate of House Montbelliard. I'm gonna put it somewhere no one would ever look. I think that there's probably like, right, big noble family. There's probably a family grave somewhere on their land. Listen, yes, I will. She fucking literally.
You're gonna put it in the crypt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And like
it's a very appropriate place to store secret documents.
One of the past. Listen. What is the top to? What is the door to a crypt? But really, truly a prison for the dead. Anyways, I'm gonna seal. I'm not gonna seal the door of the crypt. I think that's way too crazy. But I think she's gonna put it in one of the like.
Just be like, no one but me can enter this door.
I think she's gonna put it in like the fucking, what is it called? Coffin, like those stone coffins of one of the past dukes. Probably, obviously, never been opened because why would you do that? Why would you disturb it? But she will. She's gonna put the documents, hide them in there, and then she's gonna use a glyph of sealing on that bitch.
Okay.
And she will designate herself, and she will designate, I think, Aosia. I think that makes most sense to her. Something magic, something. It just makes sense. So I think that she does that. She will tell Buccio her. Right, she will tell Buccio her plans. I don't know if we all like meet again one more time before we scatter to the winds. But yeah. I think she will get that information to them somehow. But then, like, I do think that per her epilogue, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take a long time here.
No, all good.
She will go to the Duke and she will request. She's going to request to do some work for the house, maybe out of the city. Maybe out of the country. Is that possible?
Maybe. It depends on where you're looking for.
I don't know. Fucking Ravane? I don't know.
I think he could probably make that work.
Because I feel like he probably, right, like, he heard about the riot. And she comes back and she's like, so what if I was gone for a little bit, right? So that's
what if I took a sabbatical.
Yeah, exactly. I just lay low for a little bit, and that's kind of the you had something to do with that. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd give you the green light on a little time in Ravane.
Yeah. Okay. Slay.
All right, and Aosia. Your little epilogue.
TBH? I don't know, but we're gonna work off what I feel.
Sounds great.
No, I think what I'm feeling a lot for Aosia right now is just very much frustration. Kind of like she felt like she didn't really lock in that role, and that she's kind of like, I am the shit, and yet, like, you know, I go out here, I cast my spells, and I can't catch one bitch in a mask, and then I can't heal this dude who has like an arrow down his throat, and then there's like a dead student, and I just spent 2 hours in a crowd, and fuck, Valeria's probably dead, and I find out a week later Valeria's not dead. And so I think like she probably spends like a week or two like stewing in her room. Frederick probably has to like check in on her because it's quite...
Yeah, I was saying it must have Frederick's concern after an extended period of time being like, oh, that is not normal for her at all.
A day or two of soul cleaning, but this is like a week of prolonged like outing and like not leaving my room. And like when she does, like she's not as glamorous, like she's not putting time into the look. And I feel like maybe eventually like
senior enchanter has to have a chat with her and be like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything okay?" And she will probably focus that energy a lot into one, just studying. Like, she's kind of like, you know what? My problem is, I'm not the shit. You know, I'm the shit in the tower. I'm the shit in many different ways. But there's a very big world out there, and like, just imagine, like, if I can't get rid of, like, this one scrub, how the fuck am I gonna, like, tear down the chantry? Or, like, the systems that the chantry has in place in the tower. So it's just kind of like realizing that she's feeling a little bit like a small fish. And it's not very pleasant, but I think it's sort of necessary for her. So she's probably gonna go into very much like anime study training mode. I have to level up for my main storyline quest. And at the same time, like, she's probably like hanging out with, like, wet blanket. Hard, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand. You're so right on it. But like, yeah, like, probably like spending a lot of time like with the senior enchanter being like, teach me. And then like with like, wet blanket being like, oh my god, like, you're so hot, you shouldn't be a Templar. Just kind of like, she'll like sneak it into like conversations and be like, like, imagine like not being a Templar.
Imagine not being a Templar.
Just like, what would you, like, imagine like, okay, let's play a game. Like, if you could have like any other job aside from being like a Templar, what would it be? And like, if we had like a house in the woods, like, what do you think the color of like the house would be? And like, how many rooms do you think it would be? And do you like want kids? And so like, she would probably just kind of move a little fast. So she's like, I need to focus on something. And focusing on something is speedrunning her relationship with Frederick, or at least speedrunning his quitting of Frederick. Oh, like, also probably just like kind of I froze. Did I freeze? Okay. Do you boy first or girl? Like, I think also she'll probably put a little bit more time into discreetly looking for Moirin. And like put some feelers out. She really didn't have a lot of time in like the past few weeks, but she'll probably try and get in contact with Marjolaine after like she asked her to like put a like feeler out for that too.
Mm-hmm.
And discreetly, like, and every time like Frederick's like, where are you going? She's like, this is part of the 50% you're not supposed to know. Yeah, she'll just like continue looking for her brother.
All right. Sounds good.
Oh, also,
yes,
a first draft of Pink Petal Paradise.
I knew that's where this was going.
Arise for Eosia at the tower. Like, it's wrapped up in everything. Nobody knows what it is. It's just for her. It's basically mailed to her. Like, a carrier or whatever delivers it as a special package. And it's not enchanted or anything, so the Templars aren't bothered by it. But it's just like, and yeah, basically it's secreted in there.
I think she probably like just takes up to her room like regularly, like nonchalant, and then she cries about it in her sheets because this is so nice. And then she makes like Frederick read it out loud.
And well, with that, I think we will bring this chapter of Dragon Age to a close.
I thought you were going to say Drag Race.
This of Drag Race to a close.
Oh, that was
gosh, fun. I can't believe that went about how I kind of thought it could turn out.
I never saw it go. I thought it was going to be just a quick stealth, not Riot burning the city down. But
I didn't necessarily think about us doing anything. I was just like, there's no way that this goes this as quick and smooth. Especially just because, again, of the mind that the longer we get away from actively at an event or whatever, even if it's not couché that might have been, like, oh, someone's clocked me. Other people did clock us. I think like Ade now is like, is that why they fucking threw those fire bombs in there? I don't even think they knew I was in there. It's so rude. They could have killed me.
Tom's like, Buchio will not be appearing next season. He was like,
Oh, he will be. He will be.
He needs some time off.
You want
He
to
needs some time
remain?
off. I don't know. yeah.
Come
He's
on, let's
just...
go to Ravane. We could have vacation. Learn about Ravani culture. Not be in Valroyo.
Yeah, it seems like a different setting. Like
Not being Valroyo.
Just for now.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit.
Road
Yeah.
trip.
Politically heated.
Why are you biting my foot? Okay. Well, that was fun, y'all.
Yeah.
but
It
lovely.
was.
I had a blast.
It was
I'm
amazing.
glad.
Some casualties happened. A lot more could have happened, honestly.
Yes. Oh, people definitely died in that riot. Just Valeria was not one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
There were casualties. There was a ritual for those who served their, who gave their lives for the cause.
I know that university is under.
They didn't even get a chance to see Aiden. That's just 2 hours late.
The secret
That's terrible. That's very
the
funny.
cult leader has returned out of the shadows. It's there's
Late.
I love this imagery of Aiden being like, "Hi, my people," as the Chevaliers and knights are like, "Bro, get back!"
Get
And
back.
the crowd's
Also,
dispersing.
None of them
honestly,
putting 2 and 2 together. Like, wait, that's Aiden, and then they're chanting about Aiden.
honestly, could not have been a better moment for him to proclamate himself as if the whole thing was dying down.
He's like, I'm here.
I
Well,
wonder if the Harlequin mask was the same as the one that you saw when you went to the theater.
Yo, I'm about to scrap with that motherfucker. All right, I feel cheated. She is so mad. She is so heated. She was like, I should have mind blasted you thrice before I let you consider twitching a finger.
Jesus.
She feels
Right.
when in doubt, second 2 mind blasts.
Bro, if
Right.
Renee's gonna like be focused
Quick
on either kind
succession.
of like I'm putting you down like a dog spell,
Right.
or kind of like she's like I am made to like make sure you do not move a single millimeter.
The double mind blast is basically OC's double tap. It's like double mind blast.
mind blast them again.
I couldn't resist.
I loved everything that popped up. It felt like what her head was saying. The urge.
That might be something we have to incorporate
And
next
another
year.
Eldritch Blast!
Yeah, exactly. Next time,
I like it.
incorporate that.
Wow.
All right.
All
Well, we will be back again at some point. We'll be
At
discussing.
some point.
We have a tentative date, but we'll all discuss that for a season
Yes.
2.
But we will be back.
We will be back.
Yes!
All right.
Can't
Well,
wait
thanks,
to take
everybody.
over Valroyo in the next season.
We next week we have a couple games coming up. We have the One Ring on Monday night. We're gonna finish up that story, and then Wednesday we're playing some Dragonbane because the Trash Mob are back. So we will be, and that'll be the return of Sparrow and
The
all her-
5-finger discount. Everything that slaps in the night.
exactly. And then we'll have some more Delta Green next Thursday. So be sure to stop by and watch all those videos, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good night.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.